1. And we are live here with real news. We are reaching a crazy news week coming to a close here, with it all starting with, I think, the most important story of the week, which is what I'm always going to call Biden's border crisis, because it is Biden's crisis. This is his open border. He stopped the wall. He stopped deportations. He stopped everything basically that Trump did to keep illegals out. And this is what we have here. We have a shit ton of COVID-infected people, COVID-infected illegal aliens wrapped in aluminum foil in these like plastic tents down at the border. Pretty bad. Pretty bad start to the Biden presidency. And right as this happens, a mass shooting happens. What do we think of all this?
I don't want to go and pull an Alex Jones with that mass.
Oh, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole?
But it's like
Yeah.
really interesting though. It's like, of course it happens now. It's real convenient.
In a
Yeah.
supermarket. And did you see the video? So weird. There's like this dude. He's like standing in the store, like you know when you get your carts in a store and then you enter the store. He was standing there and he's holding his phone. He's like, "Oh my God, there's an active shooter in there." Then he hears gunshots and he starts running in there. I'm like, what's going on? It's just weird. I don't know if he's just trying to get some video for like 15 seconds internet fame, but it's weird.
Yeah, like this is bad. Man, they're taking it. So I don't know. Like, and then didn't they have like that Biden, like he gave that speech or whatever, and someone asked him about like the mass shootings. He was like, "Oh yeah, about the airports and all this other stuff." Like, he completely ignored the question.
Yeah, he had a press conference too because of everything going on. They had to wheel him out, and it was pretty embarrassing. Like, I'm not saying that from just a biased perspective. Like, obviously, I think he's a mess, but if you watched it, like, I mean, he wasn't the worst that he's been, but he was bumbling around, wouldn't finish sentences. And the press was actually a lot of, easy softball questions, but there were some questions that were like pretty brutal on him. They're actually kind of tough. Like, they were saying one thing about the filibuster, and this one lady says, "Well, since the filibuster is like Jim Crow, it is a part of Jim Crow era, like, why aren't you stopping it?" And he like took like a 10-second pause. He's like, and he just kind of like tried to think of something to say and was like pulling his papers. And then I don't even think he answered it, but it was like he got trapped a few times. And that lady that did the debate, Kirsten Welker, I think her name was, she actually asked a bunch of questions which they didn't like, and she asked some pretty tough ones. I have to admit, there were a few tough questions out there, but he was a disaster.
Yeah, I mean he's not in it. I don't think he's driving in the driver's seat right now. He's being chauffeured around town.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even
Mental.
think Kamal is fully in control, but they said one thing people have noticed is that she's been traveling with him a lot on Air Force One, which is very unusual because the vice president is usually on Air Force Two.
Well, yeah, that's a huge security risk. Like, let's say Air Force One, something happens to Air Force One, like you want to have the vice president somewhere for continuity of power.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a pretty bad week for them, and then he tapped Harris to lead the border, like to oversee the border crisis,
Uh-huh.
which is weird because usually, like, I know Trump did that with Pence for COVID, but that's like a pandemic. But he did it for this border crisis, which either tells me this is much bigger than we're being led on, or he doesn't want to do anything or can't do anything.
Yeah, I'm wondering when they're gonna go and like sequester Biden away. Yeah, because I remember like back when Trump was still in office and they were talking about like invoking the 25th Amendment. They're like, well, we weren't talking about necessarily with you. I think it was Nancy Pelosi saying that, and I think it was for Biden. I think that they were playing that trap card.
Trap card.
Mhm.
I mean, it was. I mean, they're playing it to be used now, and I think that was the whole thing. It's this bait and switch. These moderate Democrats think they're voting for Biden when it's actually Kamala.
Kamala. Yeah, yeah. That's how I see it. I think it's going to get. I mean, we're only like keep in mind we're only in March. It's only been a couple months, and we're already at this point. Usually there's some action at the beginning, like with Trump's there was some action, but we're gonna have 4 more years of this still. I I think what could happen is this is either gonna be the most boring presidency, or it's gonna be like a Jimmy Carter, or it's gonna be just disastrous, and then people are gonna be like begging for Trump to come back, and then he might do it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if Trump would come back, but I think we'd have someone on the right, like some Republican come. I don't know if it'd be Trump, it could be.
I
But I
think
don't know.
it's 50-50, but
It's pretty rare, like
Mm.
historically. I mean, to be fair, the whole Trump's campaign, the whole thing was historical.
yeah,
But I mean,
exactly.
like, look at how
Yeah.
often has that happened where a president, you know, goes, then they don't get like reelected, then they come back and win again.
Yeah. It would be a first, I think.
Mhm.
I think someone did it. There's like one president who did it once,
I know
I
Teddy
think.
Roosevelt tried to do it. I think I have that right.
Yeah, but he got like him and Taft end up. I think he made his like third party though. He made like the Bull Moose Party.
Yeah. We know a thing or two about the Bull Moose Party. But yeah, it's been very interesting to watch all this because while this is happening, the Cuomo thing. Have you guys been following what's been happening with him?
I know like some people have been talking about it. I've been like super because a bunch of fucking New Yorkers and they suck up enough with American energy.
Well, it's interesting how they keep putting more bad press out about him. There's more people coming forward, and then there's this thing about him basically moving his brothers and his family to the front of the line for COVID vaccines and testing, I think. I don't know if it was one or the other, but there's what is this? I'm gonna look at this one now, but it's interesting to see how they're really trying to take him out or pile on bad press on him, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's like trying to be like Trump. Like when somebody was asking if he'd resign, he's like, "I'm not going anywhere, darling."
Yeah, they're going to like it's gonna get like brutal over there. Like New York though, get that New Yorker like politician man. They're like scum. They're the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some shade over there. They're like
It's gonna there's gonna be a drastic there's just gonna be a drastic uh it's gonna end badly. It's just gonna end badly. And I say and I'm trying to articulate it right because it's like, well, New York, because of tech, has been sliced away financially to, shreds. And then of course you got, the gobs of fucking government corruption and spending on top of that. It's like it's going to end New York might end really really bad from a financial perspective. Because I mean, you said some of the things that have made New York like as financially strong as it's been is like it's been an international finance hub. It's been a international trade hub. It's like there's the ports and all that. Like it was one of the major ports. And like, it's not, it's just like 20, because of 2021, it's just no longer the same thing anymore. Tech has made finance virtually anywhere,
virtual.
right? Trade virtually anywhere. There's like, the Amazon has fucking crushed the need for anything like shipping related or whatever. Like
Well, no,
like
you still have to do shipping with Amazon.
you do, but it's more, but they're taking like Amazon has taken more of a shipping role. Like you see a lot more planes and ships and trucks and all that stuff with Amazon now. They're kind of handling their own shit.
they have their
So
own
it's like,
planes now, which is crazy.
yeah, like it's they've basically become their own like postal service almost.
Oh
Like,
Yeah.
shit. Oh, dude. Speaking of shipping, you hear about the guy in that Suez Canal?
Oh yeah, with a boat. got stuck.
No, what happened?
Yeah, the Chad boat that just goes and like it stops world trade. It's gonna go make like another run on toilet paper
Oh
because of
no.
one ship.
This is why
I'm
my
surprised.
this is
Like,
why
and
there
I
are no
heard they're doing
GPU
like,
drops this week.
well, no, and I heard that like I don't know if they were hacked or something, because like apparently like the it wasn't the flight logs, but like the navigation logs, they drew like a dick with
Dick,
the
yeah.
flight thing, and then like an ass. So it was like a dick bot.
Wait. You tell me their excuse was for why they got the boat stuck was we were hacked, bro. We were
No, I don't know if
hacked.
they were hacked, but I just know like I wouldn't be surprised because they were drawing profanity with the flight or whatever, the not the flight but the navigation path before they did the Chad, you know,
The Chad drift.
blockage. Yeah, 'cause that's 13% of the world's, commerce is just unable to be done because of the ship. One
Mhm.
ship. Like I'm surprised. Like this is actually probably like on an international scale. It's probably like up there with like probably more impactful than 9/11. Think of. I mean,
Okay, little hyperbole there.
well, no, because like this stopped trade for like multiple days out of like 13% of the world shipping area. Like people are gonna be pissed.
You know what's funny about this story? Maybe it's because I was just busy, but I had no clue it was happening. And then I saw these memes about the Suez Canal, and I'm like, why are people posting memes about the Suez Canal? This is so random. And
Dude,
then I
like one
find out what
person,
happened.
like literally one person can drop like do you know how much like billions of dollars are probably being like thrown into this like every day, like just wasted because they can't, like the supplies getting like old and shit.
You want an answer to that? We have a number.
Oh, do we?
Per day. Do you want to guess how much is lost per day? Or
Probably
being
like
withheld, I should say, in trade?
it's like 5 billion.
Double it.
10
10
billion dollars a
billion.
day.
What a troll. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's like a brilliant terrorist attack though. This was like a cyber, hack.
That'd actually
Cause
be a
like,
genius terrorist attack when you think about it. That's something out of a
'cause,
movie.
yeah, yeah, like watch like a hacker who done that like that. I mean, hope it was a hacker that did that.
You
That'd be
hope.
great. Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, he look where he
Increase.
got stuck too. He just like was just getting in there and then he got stuck.
This is why they need to have multiple lanes or something. Like they need to go make it so whenever this is done, like this can't happen again.
They need to get rid of the bike lanes and they need to put more boat lanes in.
They put like double it. Just make that whole thing like a giant boat lane.
Yes. Well, isn't that
Yeah,
kind of what it is?
Well, like
if I
add
mean,
another one.
thankfully in 2021, everyone is soft. Everyone's a fucking softy now, because like if they tried to do that shit in like the 90s or the 2000s, man, they would fucking get those fuckers would get torpedoed. Moved the hell out of the way. Like you were
Well,
not
no.
gonna stop our shit.
Well, I know back in the 60s there was in the Suez Canal there was like I think for 8 years there was a boat that wasn't allowed to go and like move because like the Egyptians and the Israelis were pissed about something.
Isn't that the
And the
Six
guys
Day
literally,
War?
no, it wasn't 6 days. Like this was like years, and they were like just being told like they were just sitting in the boat, and, like they had to get food like flown to them. The
Mhm.
people on these boats, like for 6 years because the Jewish people and the or the Egyptian people they just couldn't figure out like what to do with the Suez. It was the Suez crisis.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I remember learning about that in history class. It's
Dude,
interesting that Suez Canal, like how important that little bit that they cut out is, but I'm surprised they, because that boat's in there with all the stuff still on it. Like I'm surprised they haven't brought in, like, I don't know, like military helicopters to lift the stuff out of it to lighten the boat and then like get it out. Did you see that one like that not bulldozer but like front loader like was trying to push it and move it? I'm
yeah,
like,
I don't think it's gonna work with something of that size.
yeah.
I don't know, like, how do you get something like that out?
Yeah,
You can't
because
just
look at
push it
it.
with a stick.
Oh, they were trying to get the mud out from under there. I see. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like, first of all, how do you mess this up like this bad? And Yeah, I mean, that boat, keep in mind, it came like almost up to I guess you'd call it a shore, like almost up to the shoreline, like within a few feet. Like it moved pretty freaking far on the lower end of things. But I wonder how, actually, that's an interesting thought. Like, is the canal just like, does it like slowly get deeper, or is it just like a drop?
I don't know. So like, I thought that the guy got like stuck sideways in
It's like crooked, yeah. Of course, he doesn't get like stuck on the side. Like he gets stuck in a way that completely blocks everything.
it. They need to have like a maximum length allowable in that or something. Be like, so it's like just under that, so they can't do that anymore.
On
Yeah, like
Saturday,
just
Lieutenant General Robbie defended the canal's safety record at 18,840 ships in 2020, zero accidents. Yeah, you picked the year when there's a pandemic and everybody's like not doing anything.
well, hey man, now because of this, you might have to go and like fight to the death for the toilet paper again.
No, we're still busy fighting for the death over GPUs. That's the real battle.
Oh, dude, I think that ship though was carrying toilet paper,
Are you
if I'm not
kidding?
mistaken.
Are you kidding?
I I read, I don't know if that's a meme or not, but I read that
I
somewhere.
feel like that's got to be a meme. I feel like toilet paper can be shipped in other ways.
I don't know, man. I saw what happened earlier this year. It's
Um, it says given. Let's see. Maybe this New York Times article is going to answer it. It's the Japanese-owned Ever Given. Well, and the more,
Japanese.
yeah.
They're probably watching anime instead of paying attention to the navigation.
300 cargo ships now waiting to traverse the Suez Canal, one of the world's blah 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 blah, hauling cars, oil, livestock, laptops. Yo, see, jet fuel, scrap metal, grain, sweaters, sneakers, appliances, toilet paper.
Yes.
Toys, medical equipment, much more. The vessels were supposed to supply much of the world, and the canal was to have to be in the quickest way. So I think it was on the canal. I think it was the ships that were being blocked had those things. I think it's not being very clear.
Oh God, yeah. So now everything's gonna be on the chopping block.
It's 18 meters down into the bank of the canal. 18 meters. That's a lot of feet. I don't know how many, but it's a lot. Let me Google it. It is 20 feet. Oh, 20 yards. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's change it to feet. 60 feet? What?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Yeah, it's deep.
Oh, yeah, that is a tough one. How do you get 60 feet into the bank? So bad. And that's not
I
like.
think they were. I think they were hacked. I think they were hacked. They were doing the peanuts drawing.
How do you hack a boat?
Well, I mean, it's probably all electronic.
I guess, but like, how would they? Well, yeah, I don't know actually.
It was an inside job.
It's an inside job. It's to take out the scalpers. It's to fuck the
Yes.
scalpers.
Yes, it was like a terrorist attack by the CIA. I blame the CIA on it. I think they're the
Yes.
ones who did it.
No,
The
Skull and
CIA.
Bones. Did this happen on
No,
223? If so, Skull and Bones that did it.
oh, really? Ooh.
Ooh, yes. Do you know the significance of
What's this?
223?
That's that's what the M16 shoots, right? The 5.56 is 223.
So, Skull and Bones, I was watching Alex Jones' video, which is very good, by the way. Kind of like black pilled me a bit on Skull and Bones because he visited there for the first time. And on their, I think that's like their address number, like the building number is 223. And or sorry, three was no, it's March, so it's 323. That's it, not 223, 323. And he visited there. He claims it wasn't like on purpose. Like he said, he claims like they were doing something in Connecticut, and he actually visited there on March 23rd, so 323. And he tried to like get in. He was like knocking on the door. He's like, "Hello, globalist. It's Alex Jones." And because he saw like a girl like going there. So they do like
Yeah, I
all their
don't think they're gonna let
initiation ceremonies on 323.
Dude, I want to go make like a secret society and have Alex Jones join it, and he can think of all the crazy shit he's seen in all of these different places and include only the best crazy shit.
Yes. Oh my god, dude. No way. This is creepy. The Suez Canal thing where the boat got stuck, it happened on March 23rd.
Ooh,
This was Skull and Bones. 323.
there's Illuminati.
Holy shit. Oh.
I think I saw it on 4chan, and they were like saying that this was some sort of like some like dude was like doing some anti-Semitic troll or something.
How was it anti-Semitic?
I don't know, cause like don't like the Jews control the Suez Canal or something?
I thought Egypt does.
Oh yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Israel's involved with everything. One of those things.
So they say.
Cause I know they're fighting at Suez Canal.
Hmm.
Well, maybe they should use the Panama Canal. You know, we'd spend a lot of money on that too.
That's true. We can use that one now.
I don't think that'd really help for what is that like Africa to Asia or was that Africa to Asia or Africa to Europe or something?
This one is from
Suez.
Africa to Europe.
Oh, yeah, it's a sexy one.
The sexy
Maybe they need to make another one. Let's go like figure out a way to go and like drill through volcanoes and like fill them with water, like old volcanoes, and just like use that as a hyperloop thing. You know, like get Elon Musk to work on it.
one. Yes.
Let's go and like have like a giant thing. You just drop off all your shit, and then it goes in. Boom. It's like a warp teleporter, you know, but instead of teleporting, it just like sucks it. Boom, like a
Yeah.
hyperloop.
I feel like this is one of
Using
those stories. It's gonna start off like, oh yeah, there's that ship in the Suez Canal, it's stuck, but then it's gonna go like days and days, and then weeks and weeks, and then maybe months, and then it's gonna be like bigger than COVID.
yeah, that's how COVID. That's how COVID was for me. It was like, oh, you know, we have this new virus. Like, oh, it's like last year they had that Ebola, and now it's like, oh, well, you know, we had to wear masks everywhere, and the world like flipped on a dime.
Oh my
I
God,
think
there's
someone's
there's a USA article that says USA Today article says it's gonna lead to shortages of toilet paper and coffee. America is
coffee.
screwed. Yep.
Oh, thank God, I already bought like a shit ton of coffee. Oof.
Yeah. Oh,
Wait, that what
great.
Africa makes is coffee?
Well,
Oh, no, I know they make coffee 'cause that's for Arabica, but like toilet paper? Thought they don't even use that over there.
yeah, I didn't know. I thought the toilet paper was just made here.
Or maybe they'll see maybe they have an excess because they don't use it. They use their hands over in like the Middle East and Africa. So they go and make an excess of it and they just sell it everywhere else. It's brilliant like, you know, trading strategy.
Oh, it's because a Brazilian company that accounts for about a third of the global supply of hardwood pulp, which is used to make toilet paper, can't get through.
Why don't they just make in America?
Yeah,
You know,
why can't we
Brazil's
make toilet
closer to
paper?
America. We use that Panama Canal too.
Most producers of Robusta coffee using Nescafe ship the product through the canal. A coffee shortage would mostly affect Europe but could ripple across the world. Oh, if you have coffee shortages in Europe, they're gonna freak out. They have
Well, they
like
don't, no, they like tea. You know, that's what the
the
Boston Tea Party was
British,
about.
yes, but like coffee is like first of all, it's like more supposedly it's like more pure and intense there. Like we have apparently like
No, they tell
regas.
you that because they want you to spend more money on the European coffee.
It's another
That's why they say
scam.
like, well, they have like the Italian ones. They have the espresso, and you know that's cool. But like everyone else is fake. I mean, Eastern Europe, they had that like instant coffee because they were poor, and then the Soviet Union is like, oh, in Soviet Union we drink tea and vodka.
Yeah. Oh my God, furniture is gonna be another thing that you're not gonna get through. And there's
Well,
apparently booming
we got the
furniture
Amish.
sales.
We have the Amish over here to fulfill that need.
Yeah, I guess.
No, we'll be fine. Pennsylvania will be fine.
Yeah, PA, we're in good shape. Just don't
Yeah, we
drive
get
on the
the
roads.
overpriced Amish furniture. God, those people, they're something.
I have to say, Amish stuff is a bit overrated. That's my hot take for today.
It's not even hot. Like it is. Like some dudes who don't even know how to use a dishwasher. You know, you expect them to make a decent like cabinet. Like okay.
Don't know how to use a dishwasher. So they beat their
They
wives. They
don't. They
don't know how to
probably
use
think it's like some
dishwasher.
like devil worship.
Oh,
They probably think it's some sort of like demonic creature that just goes and cleans dishes through like Satan or something.
well. Speaking of satanic, did you see that music video that's been trending by? I think it's Lil Nas. Is that?
Lil
I sound like
Nas.
such a boomer.
These names are so stupid. Like, oh, I'm Lil Wayne, I'm Lil Nas. Like, what the hell is Nas? You that girl from like Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Apparently, he's a black gay cowboy or something like that. I
I
What?
don't
want
know.
to
Let's
take.
look at.
Oh, he was
Oh,
the Old Town Road guy, wasn't he?
yep, yep.
Oh yeah, I'm taking you to my Old Town Road, and we're gonna ride till you can't no more. You know what I say? No. Broke back
Mhm.
his mountain.
Yeah, I watched the video actually just a few minutes before the show, and I'm I just see it as a marketing gimmick, just to get attention. It's stupid. There's no musical quality there. There's not even a melody to be dissected from his song. And it just ends with him like, getting jiggy with it with Satan, and then he like takes Satan's head, like snaps his neck, and then takes the crown of Satan and puts it on his head.
This is so stupid. Like these music videos, man, someone's probably took some bad acid.
Yeah, it's like I'm used to weird and crazy and out there provocative music videos, but it's marketing. That's how I
You
interpret it.
you want to see that weird one? It's like losing my religion by like what was it, Rio or whatever?
REM.
REM, yeah, that one.
I
It's
haven't
got
seen
some
the video of that one at all. I know they had a
You
music.
had to see, you had to see that one. I was like nuts. But like, no, it's stupid. Like, I mean, of course he's like this gay Satanist like cowboy. You know, he's probably like transgender now too, isn't
Oh,
Lil not.
soon.
I don't know, he probably is. You know, I don't assume people's genders anymore because if you do, you'll get.
Now, to me,
Yeah.
what's weird, and this is where the marketing comes in, because they're using this to sell shoes, and
What?
yeah, did you see what the shoes not only look like but contain?
Is it arsenic? Is it one of those things that contains
So here's the
bullshit?
shoe I put up on the screen, and it's black, of course, with red, and it has like a Bible verse on there, and it has I like hanging from the laces a satanic star. So it's got satanic imagery on it, trying to be edgy. There will only be 666 pairs sold.
So stupid.
They will be
This
individually
is such
numbered.
pandering.
I know it costs $1,018. It'll be released on March 29th, 2021. And here's the best part: it contains, I don't know what this unit of measurement is, but it contains ink and 1 drop of human blood.
Of course. Like,
Yeah.
fucking Satan issue. Like, this is so bizarre. Like, these people, why?
See, I'm trying to
You
look at
know,
this from both perspectives, because if you know my taste in music, it's like I pretty much hate modern pop music, but
it's a
I don't
fucking
want to be a
Shadow the
boomer.
Hedgehog of the fucking rap artists.
I don't want to be a boomer, but like, is this something we're gonna look back on and we're gonna cringe, or are we gonna be like, wow, that was like edgy, that was cool, that was nothing, or like, what is this? What is the point here other than to sell shoes?
It's
Well,
just
like,
retarded.
people have done that before. They're like, look at that, like, Mason or Manson or whoever that one was that did
Marilyn
Mason.
Manson.
Marilyn Manson and like
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne, you know, they do all these like Satanist things, but then it's like this guy, he's like the black gay cowboy who's now also like a Satanist. Like,
Oh.
man, it's like a Tumblr. His
Alex
life's like
Jones
a
was right
Tumblr.
again.
I don't know. The Satanist thing is just it's worn out. It's just worn
Yeah,
out. I don't know. Like there's no nothing. There's really nothing original anymore. Like I mean, I guess the shoes are interesting, but I don't. I mean, it's not really.
I wouldn't want to wear them.
I just they look ridiculous. I don't know. People don't. Most people don't give a shit. I mean, it's like,
I don't know. It's the number one most trending video on YouTube right now.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean, look, shock value is gonna get. I mean, it's gonna get you views, I guess,
Right.
but and of course the press is just helping the situation. Um, like, oh my god, did you see the video? Ah, you know,
Yeah.
uh, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, he gave Satan a lap dance, which is a
Oh,
clear sort of shock value thing.
I mean, it's
well, like I've seen like Satanist shit before with these people though. It's like all these Illuminati shit. Like with what was it during that like halftime show? The guy with like the Satanist dances with like the diamond hand shit, whatever
Oh,
his
the
name
when the
was.
weekend was performing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, he had that one hit song that's like actually kind of not bad, but it's like everything else by him is just like meh. This dude, it's like he had that one hit, which I didn't like, and now he has this new quote unquote hit that's like the whole video is just really like out there, and I'm fine with out there videos, but it's like there's nothing that feels interesting about it or musical. It's just like it's so boring.
yeah.
There's nothing interesting in like pop music culture, in my view. I
Yeah,
wish
it'd
there
be
was.
interesting if they like jumped off. You know, that'd be
If
interesting.
they
It'd be
what?
sad. They jumped off a cliff. You know, that like that would be an interest article. You know, there'd be music about that.
Mm.
You know, like, when was the last time that like people like these people then it's like, oh, you know, I did this today. Oh, you know, who's banging who or who got an abortion and who did this and who did that. And it's just like, man, I don't give a fuck. You know, decent music, do that. It's like like working at a startup. You know, they'll promise you like we're at the ping pong table, we're gonna the arcade. You know, we're gonna even like deliver food to you guys, but you're also making like $10 an hour as like a developer. It's like, okay, buddy, do that.
Yeah. It's just so stupid and it's weird. This is why there are people that are like, oh my god, these people are all Satan worshippers. These people are satanic. You know, it's like, this is why. I don't know. It's weird. But apparently, here's another thing I saw trending on Twitter. Many are boycotting certain corporations based in Georgia, including Coca Cola, Delta Airlines, and Home Depot, that did not publicly oppose Republican legislation that increases voter restrictions in the state. What is so evil about this bill? I keep getting like so many people like, oh, they're restricting voting, it's voter suppression. Like, what are they even doing?
Oh, they're like, oh,
Well,
well, it's talking about the water. Well, you know, most other countries, you know, like this stuff, like the stuff that we're talking about now is like look at like fucking Norway. They've had like these voter restrictions in the countries in like Europe like that for like probably close to a century. You know, but in America we were so like corrupt that this is now just becoming a problem.
well, it's targeted. I mean, it's basically um the this all of this negative interaction basically is saying in a nutshell that yeah, we needed to we needed to cheat to basically win Georgia, and this kind of negates it for the most part because you like a lot of the stuff that is in this bill is relatively good. Like you know, there's you can't there's no interaction with the voters. You can't give them snacks. Like what the like which people are like, oh, you can't give snacks. I don't see what the big deal is. Like, actually, that's a federal law. It's
Why do you
actually a federal law. They just made it now a state law too that
why
you
do you need
can't
to
do
give them
that.
snacks? Like bring your own fucking food if you're going to be going out and voting. You know, it shouldn't be a problem. Like, you
Yeah,
know, why
you're not supposed to like people are not supposed to interact with anybody who's in a line to vote. It's it's against federal law to interact with those people, like outside people. you're not supposed to interact with those people. Um, but now Georgia's made it a state crime too. So
Well, I'm
good for
reading
Yeah,
the
like
other
when I
things
was
in it, and it says that there will be restrictions on mail-in voting. The law will require photo ID in order to vote absentee by mail.
right.
It also cuts the time people have to request an absentee ballot and limits where ballot drop boxes can be placed and when they can be accessed.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with
good.
any of that? Like, especially the time to request them. Let me tell you, especially in this election, there was a lot of time given to do so. Like, you could do it up until like a few weeks out from the election. I think it was like 30 days. I forget. I should have that drilled in my brain at this point. And even then, it was like we still had some people come in last day to request one. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I bet, obviously there's not going to be as many in future elections, but I think more times, a little bit more times better. And if you can't get in with all that time, then there's a problem with
I
you, and
think
you
you'll
probably shouldn't be
choose.
voting.
I think people choose not to make time. It's like then they get like pushed. I
Yeah.
think during this election, you gotta start looking at Snapchat with all these online, voting stuff and like remote voting. I think someone looks in there, there's gonna be evidence of potential voter fraud with the Snapchat.
Well, you cannot vote remotely, but unless you request a mail-in, of course. But you can request a mail-in ballot online. You don't have to go anywhere. It takes five
What's
seconds.
stopping them from doing that? Yeah, and then like voting, like writing in your ballot, and then like saying like, hey, here's my I'm Bob the election influencer. I'm gonna go and like pay, Andy the citizen, to go and take a picture of his ballot, with the right candidate signed in. What's stopping that?
Well, how would that change the votes, though?
Because you'd pay people like via like Snapchat or wherever to go and take a picture of your ballot, with who, your mail-in ballot with who, you know,
Well, it
you.
wouldn't be able to scan because it has to be on certain paper that these machines can detect with a
Well,
certain
no, if you're
ink.
doing a mail-in ballot, don't they send you the ballot though?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, take a picture of that.
I don't get the connection. I'm confused.
Well, no, someone could go and pay someone to go and take a picture of, just like say, hey, vote for my candidate and take a picture as proof and send it to me, and I'll pay you $25.
Oh, well, that's illegal. And I
Yeah,
think
but
people have been caught doing that. It's extremely illegal.
well, yeah, and like if you're from like, Kazakhstan or something, and like like you're funded by, the Democrats to go and like perform these operations, you
Well,
know.
there was that one Project Veritas video where they found a dude in Minnesota that was going around and like paying people off to get their ballots to request them, and then he would take them and fill them out. There's some really crazy stuff going on there.
What's stopping that?
Well, it's technically illegal, but he was getting
Well,
away with it for a while.
moonshine's also legal, but people still do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Marijuana's also legal. Like, there's how you even gonna know? Like, oh hey, there's some like go to a homeless shelter and say, hey, you guys, you're all people.
Apparently, this bill also expands. I didn't find it see this in other articles. So I looked at NPR of all places. The Georgia bill expands voters' access to in-person early voting. Voter restriction much? Trying to find more specifics because I always get suspicious when I see these things like Georgia voter suppression bill, and there's nothing explaining what's in it.
Well, no,
Oh, how
voter.
dare you like have to actually go in to like vote? That's voter suppression. Like, get a load of that shit.
Mhm.
Adding, the new identification requirements I found before, which is a weird one because you technically need that anyway, to request one, at least in PA. Moving back the request deadline. See, they're not even saying how far the deadline's being moved back. Is it like what, a day, a week, a month? Um, yeah, that seems to be the two big things. Previous plans to require an excuse to vote by mail, as well as restrict weekend voting hours, promo use laws were scrapped. So they even scrapped the part which is the most sensible part, which is requiring an excuse to vote by mail, which you could of course make up, but like that'd be nice to have. I mean that's on absentee ballots.
You should have to have an excuse, I'd think. Like, if you were like working during that time, okay. But like, if you're not working, like you just want to be lazy, and, oh, I'm just not gonna vote now. Like, man,
Yeah.
that's the only reason. I think that there was. I'm not gonna say anymore. I don't want to get in trouble.
You don't want to get the channel pulled.
Yeah, I don't want to get the damn channel pulled.
Yeah.
Big brains. Use your imagination. What I'm thinking.
Earlier law required 3 weeks of in-person early voting Monday through Friday, plus one Saturday during normal business hours. The new bill adds an extra Saturday, makes both Sundays optional for counties, and standardizes hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or as long as 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And they also criminalize passing out food or drinks to voters waiting in line except for a self-serve water station. Yeah, I think the
That's
reason
fair.
they're doing that is because you don't want to bribe voters with it. I think that's what it opens up.
Exactly. That is
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
exactly right.
here's Dunkin' Donuts, brought to you by the Atlanta Democrat Party. It's not gonna make people's have different opinions. Like, oh, I don't give a shit about voting anyways, but here's a free donut. Maybe I'll vote for you guys.
Well, see, what this article does not specify, does it criminalize poll workers from passing this stuff out? Or does it criminalize, like, anyone or people from the party that stand there? Because, you have your poll workers, but then you have your party people that stand there and hand you the little tickets telling you who to vote for. They would give me chocolates. I remember that back in the day at my place about a couple years ago. So I don't know which it's personally talking about, but I get the point of that. They're not trying to starve their voters. uh, yeah. Oh, this is interesting too. Many of the measures in SR 202 will streamline the election administration process at the local level, such as allowing officials to process absentee ballots sooner, which makes sense. Require them to count ballots nonstop once the polls close. Yeah, Florida was able to do it. Why couldn't other states? PA could do it for the most part. And allow flexibility with voting equipment for smaller, lower turnout races. Poll workers could serve in neighboring counties. Oh, see, that's something that I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. It says because I know in PA, to work the polls here, you can only work in the polls of the county that you're in. The benefit I see to that is like these smaller counties that would have a shortage of people. They could bring people from other counties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually don't. This actually the NPR article is actually not bad because it talks about a lot of things. And I don't see what's so evil about it. But when I was looking up Cuomo, I did see his other article that was kind of funny. It says Cuomo allegedly demanded accusers sing Danny Boy in strange hazing incident. What?
God, people are they throw that word hazing around so much. Like, apparently Boy Scouts of snipe hunt's now considered hazing.
Hmm.
A bunch of pussy
Yeah. Do you think
snipe
Cuomo
hunts.
did weird stuff in a frat or was it a secret society?
Well, I think, was he making like his interns do it?
He was making senior staffers do it, apparently. It says in the
So,
weirdest harassment claim yet to surface against Governor Andrew Cuomo, the lawyer for accuser Charlotte Bennett now says he demanded that the then aide, oh, she was an aide at the time, learn the lyrics to Danny Boy and sing it to senior staffers.
it's a fucking joke.
I feel like it is. It's
Like,
weird.
dude, like, okay, it's one thing like for hazing if you like had to get your like have someone sit on your face or like spank you in the ass, but like this, nah, that's so stupid. That's just a joke.
Yeah.
People throw the word hazing around like it's cotton candy.
Did you see there was another frat death recently.
I'm not surprised how they die this time. They drink too much.
It was it was at Bowling Green. Um, they were forcing the kid. I keep hitting the R too many times. Let's see. It was like some, it was a freshman, or not a freshman, a sophomore, but like it was his first year into a frat. He was rushing it, and they were making him like do all kinds of crazy stuff. And then what did him is they made him drink like 40 shots of alcohol. And then he like got home somehow, or they dropped him at home, and then he just never woke up.
40 shots, those are rookie numbers.
Really? In one night?
No, I've done a good bit before. I don't know if, I had like 20 in like an hour.
This was
that time I
double
puked
that.
on that one CRH.
But see what they're not saying,
Well,
though,
that was an
'cause
hour. See, that's a whole night, you know.
well, I don't know if it was like the
Different.
whole night, or if it was like it sounded like they kept making him do like one after the next, is what some of the reports were saying. But I don't know, of course, the alcohol percentage of the shots.
I have one veteran friend that'd be like, look, if you can't handle 40 shots, man, maybe natural selection took its course.
Yeah. And he didn't seem. I don't think he was a small guy. Like,
I mean, he's kind of a prick. Yes, he's kind of a prick. But yeah, he used to make jokes like that, like whenever we were partying or whatever, and
yeah.
we take shots or whatever, and he's like, "You bet," like he's like, he was like, he said something like, he used to say just really like what would be like offensive now, obviously. It would be like Johnny Weir called he wants his fucking tutu back or some shit.
So he was offensive before even offensive was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like because he would pound alcohol like there was no fucking tomorrow. Like he would. This is the kind of guy that would drink it casually. Like you just drink
Oh God.
it like. There's just like they'd go and they'd inspect his room and there'd just be fucking empty bottles of fucking liquor everywhere. Liquor. It wouldn't be beer. It would be beer because like beer would be like, oh, you know, some people make it fashionable, like you have beer cans and you make a wall or some
Yeah,
shit.
we know somebody did that.
Make it kind of cool. No,
Yeah.
it's just bottles. Fucking it'd be like a 4-day weekend, and then you come in on fucking like Tuesday or whatever, when at the end of the 4-day weekend, there just be empty bottles everywhere. The whole room stank of like, you know, stomach acids and stale alcohol and shit.
Oh.
It's like, yeah.
Alcoholics smell bad.
He would be like, it'd be bad, and but yeah, he'd be like, he'd see somebody take a shot, and you know how like most people just have like a little bit of like wince, you know, you take down a shot, and like most people would like wince a little bit. He'd be like, what the fuck are you wincing about, you fag? And then it'd be like, here, this is how a man takes it down, and he just chugs it or something, throws it down or whatever. I'm just like, Jesus, you're gonna die from alcohol poisoning one day. Like,
So I found a bit more of what I was talking about. It says a Bowling Green State University student who spoke to Toledo ABC affiliate WTOL on condition of anonymity said his roommate had been pledging Pi Kappa Alpha and told him about the event that's now at the center of the investigation, saying pledges were told to drink an entire handle of alcohol before they could leave. A handle contains around 40 shots.
Wait, each person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking nuts. Like I could see drinking like a fifth, but a handle, man, that's oof. Yeah, that's a bit much.
That's a bit wacky.
Yeah, that's crazy. The people actually survived though. That's crazy too.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's the only one that didn't make it, to be honest.
They probably like dumped it. You know,
Yeah. After
Yeah.
that, they're like, fuck, get rid of it.
like some of them probably like cheated. That's the thing.
Dude, look at this frat house. This is not a frat house. Look at this thing. It's like one of those like newy like yuppie neighborhoods. Look at this. That is not. That's like the least fratty looking frat house.
See, Sean, that's why you need to make your own frat.
The teetotaler frat.
Make frats great again.
Unironically, yeah, cause let's be real. Like, yeah, the drinking stuff, I get it's fun, and that's why people do these things. But there was a time it feels like that it wasn't this crazy.
It would be. It would be. Well, no, never mind.
Yeah, a time before they had like Animal House and all that shit. It was just
Yeah,
like normal people, a bunch of dude bros chilling out, like
dude, bros.
talking politics and shit, and like drinking a little bit, but having fun. Our hazing would be like cool hazing, like we'd make you like I don't know, like recite like the whole Alex Jones
Days
the
that's.
one where yes he'll do that, like that's a hazing ritual for
That's what we
this.
should do. Is like when we make our like base frat, our right wing frat. It's like there we will like actually have hazing, but we will to fuck with the concept of hazing. It'll be like silly stuff like that. That's completely harmless. You know. It's like yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no, see every time you screw up you need to take a shot. That's how I make it cool.
Oh no. See, I think again, it's like, and I don't think hazing would be the right term for it, but like doing some sort of like initiation that's fun but harmless. Like I can see how they can build like a bond or like be fun, but like when they're just like, yeah, pledge, you gotta drink a whole 40 shots of alcohol before you leave, or else you ain't in. It's like, okay, that's a bit messed up. But then again, he chose to do it, so you know.
Well, see, we need to be like the anti-frets. Instead of doing gay shit, we need to do like heterosexual shit.
No, no, no. It's so funny you say that because when I was taking a walk, I was thinking about your concept. Just give you credit for that. Of a base frat, and I thought our slogan could literally be like for whatever like places we get, we'd be like, it's a frat without the gay shit, because that kind of sums it up. A frat without the gay shit.
Yeah, see, we need to go and like we'd have all the frat bros like for the initiation to go and like have there'd be some sort of like straight thing, you
You
know?
you have to go hunting.
Nah, dude, we'd have like I don't know, like a town bicycle come in. We'd have all the new frat guys try it out.
What?
The BS my brothers.
I'm not following that.
Instead of like doing the gay stuff, like the elephant walks, we just
Well, they ride bicycles.
No, no, it's like the town. It's like the town bicycle. Like a whore.
Oh, I had a feeling I had like a different meaning, but I'm like, I haven't heard that one before. Yeah, I see what you mean. Get to ride. I
See,
get.
that's how you get it done. It's straight, and they won't be all at the same time. So like they
No,
won't be
no
looking at you.
train.
Or we do it in a dark room, so they couldn't see each other.
Oh
No, no crossing of the streams. You know what I mean?
god. Yes. Oh god.
None of that gay double penetration shit.
Well, we would. What would we call it? Like, how would we like? What would you? Would we use Greek words or would you use something else? We have to use alpha. We need to use alpha.
No, you should make it like ironic. It would be like I don't know, like Delta Alpha. I don't know. It would be like the Alpha 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 or something.
Yeah. Triple A. Alpha. Alpha. Alpha.
Oh my God. Alpha, like what's man, I don't remember the Greek alphabet. Screw that shit.
Yeah.
We should make it like Roman alphabet. I don't know.
A Roman alphabet. Isn't
Yes.
there already such a thing?
Yeah, I think that's what we use now for the
Yes.
most part, except for like a few letters.
The Romans were pretty. Wait. The Romans were pretty gay, weren't they?
Well, the Greeks were even more gay. I mean, they're all pretty gay. We should do it like who's the most like straightest people out there.
Well, I was gonna say gladiators, but maybe
No, dude,
not.
they're pretty gay. Well, if we did like the British Empire, that would be our thing.
Yeah, but the British Empire's no more. Like, what's something that's
Well,
like
no, but we remake it.
we
We'll
remake
remake it
it?
over here.
Okay. What's something that's like universally, like timelessly Chad, timelessly Alpha?
That's a good question.
The world may never
What would
know.
we? What would be like? Just you're badass. It's like yeah, the Vikings.
Yeah. Well, they rape people. Bad association with frats.
Well, I mean, but at least it's not men.
Okay.
Like at least it's like yeah, it's toxic masculinity. It is the Viking. I mean, everyone. It's
Valhalla.
just Middle Ages. That they weren't the only ones who did that shit. Let's be
Egyptians.
real. No, the Egyptians they had a lot of incest. We don't want to be associated with that. We're not like a West Virginia frat.
Okay. I don't think we have
We'd be the
any good
Viking
thing
frat.
to like draw inspiration from. What if we
Well,
use
no, the
like
Vikings
Star
at least
Wars
are.
letters?
No, dude, I'm not gonna be Star Wars like. Jeez, no, we're not doing that.
Oh god. Hey, I'm trying to think outside the box. I was like, if
Dude,
we
I
have
think
nothing.
Vikings. Or what about like. What else? What else would say like maybe not Vikings, but like samurai.
Yo,
Oh,
I'd be
jeez,
down for
but
samurai. Yeah.
yeah, but then we get a bunch of weebs joining us. But we turn them into men. That'd be our thing. We go and get all
Yes.
these like weebs. We go and it'd be like the bait and the switch. You
Yes.
think you're gonna be joining that's like anime friend? Nah, dude. You're gonna go like learn to be a man.
Well, anime is kind of like a pipeline to like, right wing. So this could be another like extension of that, like another arm of it.
Well, no, like one of our like what was it, initiation rituals. We'll get a fan. We'll put like a katana on it. We'll make them watch hentai. And if they get a burner, it'll like cut off their penis. So they have to like prevent it.
Oh god. I'm trying to look up Japanese language, Japanese alphabet.
Dude, yeah, there's like four. You good luck with that.
There's four. You haven't
We
even
call the
settled
samurai
on
frat.
alphabet.
The samurai frat. Oh my
The
god, but like samurai do it like the cyberpunk, like get up there, so, get out of there. That shit.
Come on, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Yeah, that one. We'll do that. We'll have have Keanu Reeves be our like unofficial mascot.
Oh, so we're a cyberpunk frat now.
Yes, do that. Well, yeah, that would be awesome.
The
If
Doomer
Johnny
frat.
Silverhand will be our symbol.
Yes. He's our god.
Oh my god, yes. He'll do the samurai frat.
Is it samurai or cyberpunk?
Why not both?
Okay, we
It
could
would
do
be
both.
called samurai. That'd be the frat's name.
I think we need something a little bit more creative. A little bit more distinct.
I don't know how many other frats named Samurai.
Yeah, but
None.
samurai is like a common vernacular. Like it's just like
But
a.
it's not a frat name. Like people will be like, "What the hell are you guys?" And they're gonna picture all these like weebs coming out like wearing katanas and like fedoras, and they're like, "Nah." And
It's
then
that's
we're
like
gonna
these
make
like
a bunch of
chads.
these chads.
Oh god, that'd be funny. What is samurai in Japanese? Maybe that can be our name. Let's see.
It's probably samurai. That's probably what it
Bushi.
is.
Bushi.
Bushido.
Yes.
Bushi. I want to Bushi.
We need,
Bushi.
we need a more bad Bushido. Oh, I like that. The Bushido frat.
Bushido. Yeah, that sounds badass.
Oh god.
What about like the cowboy frat? That's another
That's
Chad
something that's
figure.
Chad. There you go. It's American. That's actually
It's
better.
less weeb. Less weeb would be like the. I don't know. Well, how would you name it?
The John Wayne Society.
Gacy. The John Wayne Gacy Society.
Oh god.
Don't go to the basement. That's where you keep the boys.
Yeah. Well, for hazing, you'll have to like wear clown makeup.
Oh God. Just pin it, and then they play pin the pit down the donkey with you.
Oh no.
But it's not a pin, it's a dildo. So
Actually,
they do.
the cowboy, now that I think about it, the cowboy is actually like the one symbol of American masculinity. Except
Yeah.
for Brokeback Mountain. But like we're accepting of gays. We are. We're very diverse, very inclusive, but we just don't do that when we're straight. Unlike frats.
Yeah, we don't do any of these oh God, I wonder if this is like a real case if they get like a Chinese finger trap and they like put their dicks in there. I bet someone's like I remember I saw like that was a Family Guy they mentioned that like, do you wonder if a frat actually did this? Like, oh yeah, dude. We'd be like totally like a new level of brother after this.
Oh god, we have to find a way to keep it from getting like too weird to like what we're against, which is secret societies and like esoteric, occult stuff. Yeah, it's like that's gonna be like the challenge is like finding that balance. We don't
It's
want to
like,
become what we hate.
how do we do it? We have our own level of esoteric bullshit.
Well, see, we gotta do like the Proud Boys, but like better run than the Proud Boys post Gavin. Wait, John Wayne has a
Yeah.
Twitter. How?
Didn't he die?
Yeah, he kind of did. It's weird how like companies and people can make like official verified Twitters for people that are dead.
I don't
But
know, man. I'd be pretty pissed.
yeah, well, did you see also? Well, actually, you told me about it, Alex. Is that Microsoft is in talks to buy Discord for 10 million, I think.
I saw that before.
What do you think? Good, bad, or ugly?
I mean, Discord already sucks ass. They can't get any worse to me.
Okay, the platform is very, very good. It's the best. Are you saying the company sucks?
The audio thing's a pain in the ass. Like, it's not even a real program. It's
What? Well,
literally like
yes, but it
it's
is. We have found from trial and error. Like you were an early adopter of Discord, like me. It was by far has the best audio quality, the best UI of any of these comm platforms.
for now.
For now,
You know,
yes.
it does. Maybe with Microsoft it'll get even better.
Or will it become the next Skype?
I don't know. I don't think it was ever meant for like voice chat so much as audio chat. I mean, you
No,
can
it
probably do
is
voice chat. I mean, you can do voice chat, but it's meant for like
video.
mostly audio.
Wait. You talking about Discord?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it started off that way, but you can do video chat. I've done video chat on it many times.
Or you can, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best.
It's pretty good with video chat. I like its video chat. It's very good. It's better than
Yeah, but like
Skype.
compared,
Skype is
is it better than
terrible.
Skype?
Skype has very bad. I mean, the video quality is hit or miss. I don't. Can you remove that Skype watermark now, or is that thing still annoying? Yeah, I guess
I mean,
it's
I
still
use
there.
Skype for business.
Oh, I see.
How
You
does
have the premium shit, but the audio
Oh, it's
quality.
a different program. It was like originally a program called like Lynx or something.
Yeah. Well, and we found this out when I remember when we'd have. I think Sam could only do certain things through Skype, or like when we'd have people on through Skype, like when we had Cernovich on. I mean, it was clear that the audio was worse than Discord. Discord has, from what I've found in my experience, the best audio quality. That's what matters to me, because when we're doing the streams and shit, I don't want you guys to sound like you're coming out of a can.
It'd be cool if we could like have people call into it then, like a Skype bridge.
Yeah, well, that's what they're trying to. I think that's what Microsoft wants to do is turn Discord into like their gaming clubhouse. It's for gamers like it's always been, but everybody's jumping on that clubhouse bandwagon. Twitter's doing it, Facebook's doing it. And I think this is Microsoft's way of stepping into that more.
I don't know. I don't think it get any worse with Microsoft. I think Discord's. I mean, right now, like the amount of politics, they have so many furry mods and all this like other pedophilia stuff, but then they choose like, oh, we have these conservatives on here, let's target them.
Yeah.
Screw Discord.
Yeah,
except for
I
when I need
don't.
to use it.
Yeah, I know, that's what sucks. Is like everything that's awesome is like run by people that hate us. I need to go find my brother's cap real quick. I'll be right back. So you two should have some fun.
Dude, what time is
I'll be back in a second. It'll only take like a minute.
It's
it? All
10
right.
to 11. Mm. So, I, I, so what I did this weekend, uh, was over the last couple of weeks, I've been looking at two events, because April is usually the month that I enjoy entertainment for. One, because of WrestleMania, right? So I don't watch wrestling as much as I did when I was like a little kid or like a teenager or whatever, but like I'll try to like when WrestleMania comes around, I'll try to watch some wrestling to catch myself up to like storylines and stuff, whatever. Um, just so I can get an idea of like what's ahead with the stories or whatever. And WrestleMania is always a big deal. That's like, and this WrestleMania actually, because last year's WrestleMania didn't have any fans. Like it was in I think it was at the WWE, the headquarters building or whatever. And so it wasn't really much of a WrestleMania. This year, um it's gonna be at the Tampa Bay stadium, and it's gonna have fans. Like all the fans and everything. Because normally WrestleMania they have it in a football stadium, and it's like, it's budget goes to budget goes away basically. Like there's custom video stuff and decorations and fireworks and all that craziness. Like it is a definitely a great spectacle when it's in full display.
Sounds like a good time. What's that?
No,
He's
that's
talking about his WrestleMania.
we were talking about like so I was basically talking so April is one of the month the one is a month I enjoy for entertainment as far as, a couple things. One being WrestleMania. Um, like like I was telling you, I don't watch wrestling as much as I used to, but like with WrestleMania, I'll try to watch some shows beforehand to try to get myself, to see what the storylines are or whatever. And so that way at least I know what's going on with WrestleMania. And because usually that's like a pretty big event. And last year it wasn't. There were no fans at it. There were no fans, obviously, because the whole COVID thing. So they had it at the WWE headquarters, I think. And so it wasn't like a real WrestleMania. This year, it's gonna be in Tampa Bay with fans. Like they're opening the full shabaza. So it and WrestleMania is cool because it's basically the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. That's where they have they have it at a football stadium. They have custom video boards and all that stuff, and fireworks and like craziness. It's a crazy cool thing to watch. But the but yeah, so you have that, which is cool, which is actually really cool. It's nice to see like an event have full fans again, right? And of course, they can only do that in Florida because you know the Democrats refuse to you know have anything like that. Anyway, so so you have that, and then my favorite. event is the NFL draft. Like the NFL draft is my one of my favorite times of the year. Seeing all the college football players come and like they're um get drafted by these professional teams and seeing where they end up and all that stuff. It's it's pretty cool. Um there've already been some like mega trades happening too. So it's like it could be interesting. The NFL draft could be interesting. The number one pick is gonna well the Jacksonville Jaguars have the number one pick, and and so they're likely everybody's saying like okay they're gonna take Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback from Clemson, who if y'all remember when President Trump had Clemson at the White House. And because
I don't remember.
that's when he ordered all that fucking when they
Oh,
had
the
the
Mickey
sequestered
D's.
budget. So he ordered
Yeah.
all the fast food over there. That was Clemson, right? And so and the starting quarterback had long hair, right? And he was like one of the most popular guys in the building, right? That was Trevor Lawrence. So he's finally going pro. He's going to be number one overall. That's like, that's like it. That's one of the big stories. And then of course you got a couple of the other trades, but yeah, I'm trying to, I try to, I'm trying to translate it. I'm trying to articulate it so it's easy to understand. I don't know. Cause I don't know.
It gives us more reasons to move to Florida.
Definitely does because like, I mean, look, Florida, I mean, they nailed it. They nailed it. Like as far as elections go, as far as you know, keeping the state open, as far as you know having all their stuff go on, and now they're gonna have a WrestleMania, like full on WrestleMania. So yeah, Florida definitely for the win.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a tempting state to move to, except for the freaking heat. But
Yeah, the heat blows.
yeah, it's just not for me. But apparently, I'm googling Florida. It says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis threatens to sue U.S. over cruise ship ban. That's a new
Oh,
one.
the cruise industry is taking a fucking beating. Oh my god,
Yeah,
they've been beaten all to hell.
they've been harder hit than the airlines. So at least the airlines are flying again.
Let's see
Florida
here.
saw a $3.2 billion loss after the first 6 months of the pandemic in the cruise industry alone. That's crazy.
That was the stock. That was one of those stocks that I was getting into early on. One
Yeah.
of them was Carnival because it dropped. Like when it first started, it dropped. I want to say to like $13 a share or something like that, and it was normally like a $40-50 stock. So,
Yeah, they're
just,
keeping the cruise ships locked down till November of this
yep,
year. Wow.
yep.
That's
And
brutal.
those cruise companies are just hemorrhaging money. Like I don't know what's gonna happen with all that craziness. Let's see here.
Did you also see, because this reminded me from the Discord thing, which is, by the way, $10 billion as they're trying to buy it for, which, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous because, like, Microsoft, they've had some things that they don't mess up, like Minecraft. That's been fine, but then they mess other things up, like Skype. So it's like, I don't know. I'm a little iffy and a little nervous.
By the way, like how stupid is Gavin Newsom? Like how retarded is Gavin Newsom with all of
So
those?
bad that they want to recall him. His own
Yeah,
people.
like let's go back to WrestleMania, shall we? Originally, uh originally this WrestleMania was supposed to be in SoFi Stadium, which is on the brand new Los Angeles stadium that cost like 5 billion to construct, right? That one, it was supposed to be in that stadium, but because Gavin Newsom is a retard, basically the WWE was like hell no and moved it to Tampa. So thanks. Thanks, dude. You just lost yourself a shit ton of money. And you screwed over the city of Los Angeles, basically. Like, cause WrestleManias are a big damn deal. Like that they like I said, they're the Super Bowl professional like they bring in a ton of money. You get a ton of money. Like they're like I was looking up there was one time where I was looking up the other year WrestleMania tickets, and the ring section, the ringside sections were starting at 2 grand. The
Oof.
ticket per ticket,
Jesus.
and they sell out. Like WrestleMania sells out like almost immediately. Like
Yeah.
so, I'm saying the money is there. That they have parties and events all week. Like they have WrestleMania week where it's like all week. It's like you know parties, events. People are there. They're spending money. They're booking hotel rooms. They're renting cars. There's a heap of economy that goes into that whatever city WrestleMania is in. And Gavin Newsom just said screw it. Like this is the kind of thing. Like you're just like, what are you doing? You're killing your state. You've completely destroyed your state.
It's really interesting that while that's happening, there's all these nursing homes. The nursing home scandal is such a big thing because that's what was putting Cuomo in. That's what's putting in Wolf in here a little bit. It wasn't as bad here, but California was like number two with that stuff. And it was their policies, their decisions that led to lots of deaths that could have easily been avoided. It's not like one of those, like I saw Deborah Burke State was like, well, if we'd done X, Y, and Z sooner, we would have saved X number of lives. I'm like, oh my god, like that's stupid thinking. That's stupid thinking, because you made the right decisions with the right amount of information with what you had, and looking backwards is stupid. But when you are given information with clear proof showing that, okay, if we take these sick people, I mean, this isn't even proof, this is just common sense. You take sick people and put them back with other vulnerable people, that's a dumb idea. You know, and all these Democrats did it, but these Republicans didn't do it. These other people didn't do it. They do it, and now they're going to vote to recall Newsom. They say that's a very likely vote, and I don't know what's going to happen. That's pretty crazy because I'm reading how that voting works. It's like the first, like you're given a ballot on the first question. You basically, from my understanding, recalling somebody basically gets rid of them. It's like a form of impeachment, kind of, or removal, I should say. And then the second question is like, well, here's a list of candidates. Who do you want to replace them? So this could be wild. Like, I could see this happening. I don't know if he'll actually get out. It might be close, but not enough. But I think this is going to be a big deal because he's already got a campaign manager and stuff. Like, it's a serious thing. Like, he's scared.
But that state is such a wreck.
Oh yeah, it's such a
such
mess.
a wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if it'll ever recover because it's like it's one of those things where you just have like obvious like that whole state is not only is it's just Democrat, but it's like super Democrat, like a
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
that state has a super majority, and like I, I don't know. I think that whole state is in wrecked status too. I mean, there's just the amount of corruption that's in that state is just disgusting, and it's like,
Yeah.
how do you it's so, how do you unfuck that state? That is that to me, that is probably the real question, because you're like, well, like, it's like, is California so far gone to where it's like you can't recover? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like, I look at that, like, I look at the SoFi Stadium shit. Like, it was originally supposed to be 2.6 billion to set up, but because of regulatory shit and labor costs, it ballooned it all the way up to over $5 billion. Like, uh, it's like, this is the kind of shit that ruins a state. It ruins a state, and I like, they have issues. They just have a mountain of fucking issues, like with real estate, with all the, basically, like, the foreign ownership ballooning up the real estate prices, and like the taxes are insane. Like, they got like ridiculous. I mean, the taxes that they have there are just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Um, like, how do you unfuck that state?
It would need a radical population change in terms of, a bunch of
Yeah.
conservatives or just moderates, like apolitical people moving there, not these wackos that live there. And the process to recall him is they first need to get 1.5 million signatures of voters to get this on a ballot. And apparently they're pretty close to that. I don't know how, they don't give a specific number, but supposedly they're close. So it sounds like it's getting on the ballot. And it's now a matter of, can they rally enough people?
Like, and you got cities like San Francisco that are like destroyed too. Like, it used to be, San Francisco used to be one of my favorite cities to to vacation at, just because, the weather's 70 degrees all year. I'm like, all right, this is like my kind of weather,
Yeah, it's
right?
like perfect weather.
It's like, yeah, it's like, and it's not too sunny. It's not too sunny, not too cold. A little bit, like, little light jacket weather. I like it. Um, Great. It used to have great food. Like, it used to be one of the favorite. Like, it used to be my favorite city to eat. Out, eat. I would call it basically the Paris of America, because there was a lot of restaurants in San Francisco that were like original. Like, they had original cuisine and fusion, and it was very innovative for its cuisine. And like, and obviously, you know me, I'm chubby. I like to eat. But anyway, um, but a lot of those restaurants are gone. Like, because, like, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Between the taxes, the regulations, the codes, all of that shit, it just destroyed that city in terms of restaurants. Um, I was thinking about going back. I was just thinking about going back there last year, and I was like, and I was looking up some of those restaurants that I used to go to. It's like almost all of them are closed, or they
Wow.
moved out, or whatever. I'm like, I wanted to cry, because it
Jeez.
was like, I mean, it was just it's that bad. And then some of them moved to Seattle, and Seattle's fucked too, but that's a different conversation. But anyway,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I'm like, when are these people gonna get it? Like, when are these people gonna get it? It's like, dude, over regulation, over taxation ruins ruins life. It ruins life.
Yeah, because you simply you either you ruin the businesses there, or and then they leave, or businesses don't want to come there, so you don't have an economy, so you don't have jobs, you don't have people making money. It's like, I mean, how I almost, because Gavin Newsom, for what he is, it's like I can't think he's stupid. Like, what is driving him to do this crazy
Dude, it's
stuff?
greed. Most of these people, it's greed and corruption.
Yeah.
Most of these people, it's greed and corruption. You know, most of these people are fairly intelligent.
Exactly.
It they're fairly intelligent. They graduate from good schools. They've spent years in education. They have a shitload. They have a shit ton of experience within the DC area, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be able to fucking to do what they do in terms of all the dirty shit that they're able to do. It's just, you know, it's corruption. It's greed and corruption.
Well,
It's taken out. It Greed and political corruption has ruined basically every empire before us, and it will likely ruin this one.
well, you notice too what their new problem is, which is kind of ironic given their progressive nature, supposedly their state, is they're having all these anti-Asian hate crimes, as they're calling them.
Mm-hmm.
And it says San Francisco, there's a slap an Asian challenge that's happening. Now, why is this whole thing a thing now? Like, is this really a thing? Are people really going out there being like, those damn Asians bringing in COVID? Let's go get them. Like, is that really happening?
There have like so I'm looking at video. I look at videos every now and again, like even before this whole the spa shooting or whatever. Um and there was like it always tends to happen in cities, and it happens usually at the hands of some of the like gang members and shit. Like it'd be like it'd just be so there'd be something about like I don't know, like because you got some of these people that are like I don't know. There a lot of it is ha- I don't know. It looks to me like there's like I don't know, like turf wars or whatever, because
Mm.
you have a lot of mom and pop shops in mom and pop Asian shops in some of these cities, and those are usually target places for people for gangs to like deal drugs and shit like that. And like so usually there's a lot of friction with that sort of thing, and so usually that's where a lot of the Asian violence happens, like usually in those areas. But the, you were talking about stopping Asian hate and discrimination. I would love there to not be Asian hate and discrimination, but I think it should start at the colleges.
Yeah, at Harvard.
Yeah, I think it should start at yeah, because these people are actively like these people in these colleges are actively discriminating against Asians. Like the Asians have to score higher, like hundreds of points higher on their SATs just to have a shot at some of these, as at some of these universities. And yeah, let's start there. Oh wait, when the Asians tried to sue, it was an Obama appointed judge that threw that case out. Oh God, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean it's like, oh okay, okay, you want to stop Asian hate? Okay, well, how about looking in your own backyard? Feel free, feel free to look in your own backyard because there's plenty of it there.
I personally think it's a completely manufactured thing because the left.
Of course, it's always anytime you see hate, there's always something that's manufactured. It's always manufactured.
Well, it's it's
But,
it's either like it's like something that is happening and somebody's taking advantage of the situation, or it's
yeah,
like they're making a situation that isn't there. Like in terms of like they'll take isolated incidents and like blow it up out of proportion.
yeah.
And I think with this one, um, I think it's more of maybe it's a I haven't looked too deeply into it, but I think it could be more of the former, which is like there's something that is happening. Like let's say there's crimes where Asians are getting killed or whatever. Let's say like for whatever reason, and they use it for their political gain, of course. But they're like framing it as like, oh, these are just people these are racist, like hate Asians because they're bringing COVID, blah blah blah. And I don't
The
think that's the
problem.
case at all.
So this is where these people are truly idiots, because like social media has ruined that tactic forever, right? They used to be able to get away with that shit, right? They used to have so much success with it years ago. Social media ruined it for everybody because people can easily debunk that shit now. Like if you're smart and you have a social media account, you're like, oh hey, two plus two doesn't equal four here. Like what the hell? No, and like because like I mean these a lot of these you look up statistics like you say when people were throwing down the gender pay gap with a you had the equal pay day or whatever the Biden administration had this equal pay day or whatever where they had the soccer stars were like, oh, I could
Oh yeah, I
do with
saw
that.
that cringe.
Yeah, it was like no, it's like no, you uh anybody with a Twitter account no can point out the bullshit easy. So my Twitter feed was just chocked full of rebuttals for the ridiculousness that was the equal pay day. And for another example, um the that shooting, the what was it, the shooting, the Colorado shooting, right? How many people, like when that shooting happened, how many people were like, "Oh, it's white. It's another white MAGA male, whatever." Da, 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 da. Like, guess what happened, right? Turns out it wasn't a MAGA male, right? A white MAGA male. Yeah, turns out it was some Syrian immigrant with, you know, tie with sympathies to ISIS and like, and like but yeah, anybody like social media, like whenever they're struggling to adapt to social media from uh, a narrative standpoint because
Oh no, they're
um
not struggling. They're having an easy job. It's just, oh, let's ban you. Let's ban you. We You can't share that story.
yeah, but it doesn't have a positive, but it doesn't have a positive effect because you're not getting rid of social media. You might be able to do it on Twitter, you might be able to do it on Facebook, but you're not going to be able to there's people are just finding ways around it, right? People are just not saying words to trigger the sentiment analysis, but they're still pointing out the ridiculousness, and people are still looking at it. It's not this is what I'm saying. They're trying, like the left is trying to do shit like ban, like to you know get in the way of all of it. It's just it's not a successful strategy for them. So I mean, and the more and you're getting to the point now where the more you press, the worse it's getting, right? It's like, and now more people are starting to see, oh, maybe these people are full of shit. And I, I mean, you had, it's to the point where these even like even moderates are like, this is kind of crazy. You might not want to not want to say that shit again. Like you had the one there was one USA Today journalist, if you want to fucking call her that, was she was a race and inclusion editor.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense, right? Um, no, she was one of the ones she got fired. She actually got fired for the tweet where she was like, I bet it was a white male. That was her tweet. I bet it was a white MAGA male. That was the tweet.
Oh God.
And she lost her job. Good for her. Like not that I give a shit. I don't, you know, normally I'd be like, well, hell no, nobody should lose their job for that for a fucking tweet. But hey, you made the rules.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
You made the rules. Like now you got to enforce them.
Well, see, what's interesting too when you mention like social media is that the other problem that's starting to become quickly apparent with the alternatives, and Alex and I were talking about this the other night because he knows a bit about this cybersecurity shit, is alternatives like Gab have terrible cybersecurity or none to speak of, and they've now been hacked like a third, fourth, or fifth time, wherever
Well,
it's
yeah.
up to, and they
Well,
lost a
we've been
lot of
saying that
people's
before.
personal data.
Yeah, well, we've been saying that before. We've had these conversations before. Gab, I mean, don't I would not put personal information on Gab. Just
What do you do when you
because
sign up? And that's what
well,
was
you do.
hacked.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the minimum, like you got to put the bare minimum on a site like that. Well, it's well, security was always going to be an issue just because it was a Mastodon fork. Uh, they used open source, tech to develop that site, whereas a lot of a lot of the a lot of these other social media sites are basically open secret coding, right? So you like there's a different there's a little bit more of a cybersecurity safety with those sites. There's still risk, but it's not as prevalent as Gab because Gab used basically open source coding to make their platform. So that's what you have to, that's the decision that you have to make if
I
when you
think the
go on
problem
Gab.
is it doesn't seem like they have much of a cyber team. What do
Well,
you think is the problem, Alex? I'm curious. What do you think? Oh, did he disappear on us?
oh, you just yeah.
Our resident cybersecurity expert, right when we need him. Well, we'll whip him back up. But I mean, it's just because keep in mind they're very small, so I feel like they have. I mean, they're already limited in what they can invest in the service
yeah,
itself. So it's like the cyber aspect of it's got to be extremely
yeah.
limited, even though it's
But I
arguably
mean,
the most important thing.
if you're look, just if just go like if you're going on for people like dude like safety is not going to be that big of a deal. I don't know. Like if you're
Ooh,
putting your if you're just put
that's very important.
if you're putting your well it depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you're doing and like I would not put like I mean, I sure as shit wouldn't put credit card information or social security number or anything like that on that fucking like to on a Gab site or
Right, but
whatever. But
you don't put that on Twitter either. Like,
well, you do like it depends on what you're doing. Like it depends on what you're doing for, like are you advertising on Twitter or are you running a business on Twitter or are you
right.
getting verified on are you looking to get verified on Twitter or are you like what? There's a lot of things that you can do on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that ask for extended private information. And so
Well,
so
even
I
before
would
you
never
get to
I
that,
would never do that. I would if even if Gab did those even if Gab did that extra stuff that
they do.
that Facebook and that well, I mean, I'm talking identical. Like I'm talking straight identical to what Twitter and Facebook did. I would not share the extra information with Gab just because it like I mean, I knew it would be a secure. I knew it would be a security risk, a higher security risk before I even signed up for the site. So I'm like, to me, that was I accepted that from the start. Now, of course, that's just me. Um, and of course, I mean, I mean, I get why people would be like, you know, but why there are concerns, but like you have to, like, this is take some personal responsibility here. Like if you get some, like, what's in front of you, like we know what's in front of us, like you make the bet. We have to make, like, I hate talking to people like they're fucking children here, but like, no, you make decisions based on the best information that's in front of you, right? So
Well, see, the
um
problem too is Torba initially downplayed it big time too. He was like, "Oh,
of
we
course
weren't."
he is.
Yeah,
What,
but the
he owns
problem
the
is,
platform.
yeah,
Like I
but it wasn't just downplaying. Like he completely either lied or didn't have any clue as to what was happening because he first said they weren't hacked.
I knew he would too. Like,
Well,
and
I didn't
again,
think he would
now
say
see,
that, but that's
maybe I should not be commenting on this conversation, just because like like I are like I come at this problem a bit more different, I guess, than most people. Because I mean, I was just like, I knew it. Like I knew that this was. I knew that I knew that this is kind of shit would happen when I signed up. Like I was, so I just fuck it. Like
well,
and
my
like I'm not
concern
gonna.
is I don't think Gab. It could well, defining success is relative, but I have a bad feeling Gab's weakness may not be all the things I've normally been worried about with alternatives. I think it might be security because think about it this way: like Gab is literally like a target on its back because it's like this right wing echo chamber Twitter alternative.
Creating an honest platform does not takes a long time.
Well, it's
Like
not even
if you're
that. The
trying to.
problem is like it's got such a target on its back that there's a bunch of hackers that are gonna look and be like, oh, let's mess with these right wing people. Let's shut their site down, and they can just DDoS it and shut it down. You know that they can get screwed pretty easily, especially if they've been hacked this many times. Like,
Well, I mean, it depends on how you're developing the site too. Again, like you like you have like it's it's how are you developing the site depends on, like, look, you look at Infowars, right? When they first started going developing their website or whatever, of course it was getting hacked. Like because they weren't they were using readily avail they were using readily available stuff to to run their website, like to run their websites, to run their platform, stuff like that. So it was open to hacking. But like, but again, it's like when you make it yourself, like most of these established websites have done, then it becomes a little bit harder for hackers to crack
well, they also
versus.
have a cybersecurity team that's like working around the clock. Like, I doubt
Yeah,
Gab has that, and I think
yeah.
that's the big problem.
Well, I mean, like Twitter runs its shit on AWS. Good luck cracking that shit. Um, like AWS has some primo cybersecurity. Like
Exactly.
your life is a, you try to crack that shit. You're good for you. Like, yeah, you deserve a goddamn medal. Like if you're able to crack that shit. But um, I'm not saying try it or anything. I'm just
Well, and
saying
see,
like
look what
it's
happened when this is the inevitable problem with these oligopolies here is like Parler was on AWS. Bad decision because
yep,
we knew they'd be biased, but the
yep.
positive to be on AWS is you have probably the best security in the industry. So now they're kind
Well,
of
there's
like, yeah, they have their own stuff, but like they probably don't have good security. And the Gab hack happened through a SQL injection vulnerability, which Alex knew what that was, but I have no clue what that means. I know SQL a bit, but don't know what injection
I mean,
vulnerability is.
if I have to break it down, if I have to break it down for some of these people, it's freedom has a cost. Okay, freedom has a cost. Like, you know, if you want to put your shit on AWS, know that there's going to be some fucking long list of terms and conditions that you're gonna have to fucking abide by.
Yeah.
Like now, grant you, it it's significant. Well, I wouldn't say it's significantly cheaper. What they do is they make it really cheap to start out with, and then they start nickeling and diming you all the way until they fucking break your back in your pocketbook. But anyway, but yeah, no, that's for in the short term, it's fairly price reasonable. But and of course, like if you're trying to start your own website out of out of scratch, out of shit, like out of your own shit, it's going to cost you a shit ton of money, right? It's going to cost you a bit of money, but I mean, but again, freedom comes at a cost. Like you're that it's going to take work. Doesn't mean it can't be done. Doesn't mean it shouldn't be done. Just means you're gonna have to like education, right? If you try like anything. It's just this isn't just in tech. It's in everything. Like, look, if you want education, right? Obviously, there are private schools out there. There are other stuff. There's other stuff out there that you can like if you should send your kids to get a good education, there are places where you can do it. You're just going to have to pay for it, right? Like if you leave your fucking, obviously the public school system is a total fucking shit show. um and if you want, I mean, if you want to, if you want the freedom to give your kid the kind of education that you want, first you have to invest time, you have to invest money, and you know like there look, and it's not that I'm not sympathetic with some of these people that are like, obviously it's a real shit deal. Like conservatives are getting, there is bias against conservatives in a lot of instances, in politics and entertainment and social media, in media in general. um but my thing is, we're getting to the point now where we've known this for a while. uh what are you doing about it, right? At least Donald Trump. Look, Donald Trump, he's starting his own fucking platform, right? He's doing something about it, right? This is what I'm saying. Like, how long how long is it going to take before you realize, oh, maybe I need to do something about it? And this is something that you got to teach people, like you got to tell people like they're fucking children or whatever. Eventually, yeah, I'm sympathetic. I'm sympathetic with you until a point, right? Eventually, I'm gonna be like, well, okay, yeah, grant you, bad shit's happening to you, but what the fuck are you doing about it, right?
Yeah, most people just complain, and I
Yeah.
support Gab's efforts. I just am afraid for
Well, I
their
mean,
sake that
I don't
this
think. I
that
mean, I don't think that they're. I'm not. I don't know.
like I think honestly of all the alternatives that's going to have the best chance of success, it will be probably Trump's, and I think his platform will still fail though, unfortunately, because
Uh,
of a million factors.
yeah, yeah. See now, yeah. I'm like, okay.
And all power to them
I
for
agree.
trying.
I'm leaning in your direction, um I mean, I can't just say it'll fail. Like, I was just like,
Well,
well,
let me rephrase. I think
but
it probably will. I think it's
yeah,
more likely to fail than
so I'm
succeed.
leaning. Yeah, I'm leaning in that direction. But I mean,
But it's gonna have
but
an
my thing
interesting
is, well,
chance.
I have questions. I have questions. I mean, it's not. I'm rooting for it to succeed,
Yeah.
but I have questions. I have questions. Like, well, where are these? What kind of what kind of money is going into this? Because it's going to cost money, like via servers, employees, engineers, what, coders, cybersecurity, all of that's going to cost money. And are they going to have the money to financially back it? Well, let's just say they do have the money. Let's just say they have financial backers. Let's say all of that stuff. Are they able to put it together to put up something that is legit, like via code wise, via cybersecurity wise, via like enough to even, and then it's like, well, and if you are able to do that, well, okay, well, how are you going to monetize your site? Like how are you going to make money? Because you're spending all this money. You're obviously not doing it for free. Like you're not just giving shit away. Like obviously you're going to have to try to make money off of this thing. How, right? There's just a lot of questions, and those questions are enough to give me some pause, like more, actually a lot of pause. But um I mean, there's an opportunity. If you strike it right, there's an opportunity, but you have to be able to you have to be able to do it right.
Well, and one thing I just saw this from Newsweek. This is a good sign. Is that he said the platform that the president is building is not going to rely on Amazon or Amazon servers. It's going to be completely built from scratch, from the ground up, and it's going to give him the opportunity to control not only the distribution of it, but also participate in it. I mean that in a positive way, and that's something that the president's been working on for a long time now.
That's exactly how you have to do it. And yeah, and maybe he has been. My thing is he's probably, if I were to guess, if I were to make a guess, he's probably been working on this thing for months. If I was to guess it, he's probably already been working on it and has been for months.
Yeah, he's been talking to
Like
people
this,
apparently.
something like this takes a really long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you look at it, look at how a website is. Well, look at how a platform like this is even constructed, right? Like if you're constructing something like this from scratch, right? You got to get a vet. Like you got first you got to handle all the paperwork and all the all the registrations and shit like that. Then you got to find the financial backers. Then you got to make sure you get the right equipment. You got to hire the right people. You got to hire, like, all of that stuff takes a whole lot of time, and a whole lot of money. So odds are, if he's saying, "Oh, this thing's going to be up in a couple months," he's likely already. He was probably working on this while he was president, right? That's what, like, for me, that's what I'm thinking. He's like, and now that I look at this, it's starting to make sense why he didn't just jump on another platform, or why he didn't, like, just go on Gab, or why he didn't go on Parlor, or why he didn't go on those other websites. To me, it makes sense, right?
Well, the other
It
thing
makes logical sense.
I think that's also possible that there have been some reports of is that he's actually partnering with lesser known social media ones, kind of like have a head start. Which I don't know if that's what's happening. It's unconfirmed,
Well,
but
you're good. No, well, I mean, look, no, but I'm saying you're going to need backers. You're going to need backers if you're going to pull this off. You need backers. One, you need financial backers, because you're not going to be, you're not going to be able to do this all with the money that you have, even if you are Donald fucking Trump, right? Um, and two, you're going to need backers. You're going to need tech backers. You're going to need people with experience that have this sort of, you know, have that technical coding know-how, right? And so you're just like, that's just how it is. Like you're developing stuff with people that are experienced in that sort of field. So, like, none of this is like, I don't know. I don't think any of this was like crazy information. Like, I'm like, okay, so it looks like he's been working on things. He's been working on things. That there's a process. He's doing the process. He's probably been doing it for a while. It makes sense. But of course, there's still a lot of questions, right?
we'll see what
Still a lot of
if
questions with all that.
the things that I see becoming immediate problems are, one, it's going to get banned from all the app stores, which greatly decreases your reach, and number two is it's going to need a compelling reason for people to use it, and like a feature. Like, for example, TikTok, when it came into the scene, the compellingness of it was a short form video. The compellingness of Clubhouse is that it's public audio that you can chat and public audio conversations. And it's as things keep going. With more platforms out there, it becomes harder and harder to be different than the others. And
Mm-hmm.
just being a free speech platform is nothing new. Just
Mm-hmm.
being the platform with Trump on it will help get some people on it for sure. It'll get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of mainstream conservatives, but getting normal people on it, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
very, very hard. So I think it's unfortunately probably going to fail, but hey, at least he's doing something. I personally think what he should focus more on, and I know he is doing this, so it's not like, I'm knocking him for this because he is doing this. Is
Mm-hmm.
you need to just literally just take over the House and Senate, get back to presidency, so you can actually pass something that actually does something with
Yeah.
people that aren't bought off by these companies, because that's the only
Yeah.
way this gets fixed. It's the only way.
I'm I mean, and there's a problem with that too. Like, look, for me, the problem he ran into right out of the gate. Um,
His own side was against him.
yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, he hired a lot of the like he was one of his goals was to drain the swamp. Yet he hired quite a bit of swamp
Well, that
creatures,
doesn't
right?
even matter. Like, the people in Congress weren't going to do anything about big tech, and that's the
Hmm.
problem. It's all the
Yeah,
Congress. Like,
and they
he,
sure as shit aren't now. Like, look, they're the lobbying that Amazon and Google and all these Facebook and Twitter, they're all they're pretty much dominating the lobbying market now.
yeah, yeah, they're
Like,
huge,
so, yeah.
and that's the problem. So it's like, I don't see those people changing unless they all get banned. Like, until it hits them, then they'll start
Yeah.
caring. So it's like, again, like, for now, it's like, yeah, we gotta build our own stuff so that we can survive and have a space for us. But it is by
Mhm.
no means a effective tool for persuasion, communication with normal people, and starting fights with the opposition. It just doesn't work. So it's gotta be regulated, but I have a bad feeling that won't happen for a long time, unless things get really worse really quickly, which is also possible. We do
Mhm.
have Joe Biden as president and control of the whole government, so there's that too. So it's like, on the one hand, while in a normal time, I think things like this would take forever to change, but it's like, we ain't in normal times. We're in times where things happen quickly. Is our resident cybersecurity expert back? Okay, maybe not. I saw his little mic making some noise and his thingy turning green, but it's gonna be very interesting to see. That's why I really want a remote job, so I can just go off and do my own little politicaling anywhere, not be tied down in this state. We need to start like a base coalition in DC of like us Penn State bros. Have like a war room. What's interesting is what I've seen is so much energy amongst the youth. I don't think we've seen anything like it, where young people are just so interested in getting involved with this stuff. I was just on the phone with somebody today that's um, worked on the Trump campaign, Penn Stater, trying to run for CR president, and he's like super pro Trump, and he's super like hype about getting into this stuff more.
Mhm.
It's
Um,
very, there's like, as much as I kind of get a little black pilled every now and then, it's like there's some white pills like that make me hopeful.
yeah. I mean, no, there is. I mean, look, the f- this is how I see it. The future has a lot of conservatives in it. It has a lot of conservatives in it. Like you're saying, like Gen Z and beyond are more conservative than ever, right? But it's getting there. Like we have to continue to find ways to keep that education going, right? Have to find what have to find ways to keep people teaching. Like, look, like you got PragerU and Turning Point and all these guys. We're trying to keep that going, like trying to keep that going to where, people are still educated on certain topics, like the Constitution, free speech, Second Amendment, the the free market, capitalism v socialism. Like you got to find a way to continue to educate people in a world that's continuing to try to crack to for basically Fahrenheit 451, all of that shit. So I know if in the future is definitely conservative. People are wising up. Like people are just naturally getting more intelligent. They're understanding how things are working, but it's like we got to continue to fight get to keep people educated in that sort of thing.
What I like too is I've noticed that once people get a taste of winning and how you can win with a platform that's a winning platform with a winning candidate, man, we don't want to give it up. Man, we hate to see it go. And I think that's what's been great to see is that I think people, part of the reason Trump gained in popularity so quickly was because he was talking about things that were already on people's minds, that people knew about, that people were feeling. He was the only one saying them. But now we're getting to a point where more and more people are waking up to those things.
Yeah.
And this is the only thing I'm afraid of is, people throw around the term conservatism Inc. But what about populism Inc.? What about these people? They're like, oh yeah, like Nikki Haley is a great example. Oh, I'm America first. Oh yeah, I serve with Trump. I'm really good. I'm really, I'm like you guys. And then she's totally not. It's like, these people are like shapeshifters.
But we're starting to find out, and again, social media, right? Those flames go out quick.
They seem to, yeah.
Yeah, then this is right. So this is conservative. The conservatives Inc., like the GOP Inc., has the same problem that the Democrats have. They're using old tactics, and this is what we always talk about this all the time. Like with political science majors, right?
Oh God,
Most
our
of their
favorite
shit is
topic.
outdated. Most of that shit that they're teaching is outdated,
Oh
right?
yeah,
It's outdated, it's old, it's stale, right? People like and the establishment GOP is really essentially doing the same shit that that the left is doing, right? They're doing the same stale shit that the left is doing. But what you have is, again, like you have these newer conservatives that are starting to realize that like what and the one thing I think the greatest thing to me that Donald Trump did was inspire people
yeah,
to realize that the old way of doing things ain't gonna fucking fly.
yep,
Like there's another way of doing things, right? And so you have this rise in populism, right? This is like, okay, all right, this works. Um, and you're starting to see it. But again, we have to continue to educate people, because once we do, it it's really forever, because once people know, like we're getting to the point, like with the left right now, where they're starting to become more and more authoritative, right? They're starting to become more authoritarian, like in their policies, in their like just trying to really clamp down and like force you into their way, right? Which, as long as people are educated, you're not going to be able to do that. It's not going to be a long-term successful strategy. Like authoritarian, it just doesn't work, because people kind of like their freedom. Like people tend to like it. Once they get it, they kind of don't want to give it up.
yeah.
Uh,
The only thing that's tricky now, and this is why you're seeing a sort of rise in an authoritarian right,
yeah,
is when things are getting so crazy where we have drag queen story hour, where we have
Mhm.
all these other crazy things happening, that you see a sort of a reaction to that. And I'm no hard authoritarian. I'm very centrist on things like this, but what I'm noticing is that there's this guy, one guy in a Blaze TV show with Elijah Schaefer made a great point, which is that the founders made the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, with the presumption that we'd be a moral and virtuous society, a
Mhm.
Christian society, a very moralistic society. That it's almost kind of like, I don't want to say we deserve the freedoms, but it's like, okay, we know most people are good and society's mostly has a good intention, so you can get your freedom. It'll work, and it's like, what's scary for me is, and I'm not religious, but like when we see society becoming more godless, more meaningless, more nihilistic, more depressed, more crazy, you remove that sort of moral foundation,
Mhm.
and you're left with freedom without morality. It's like,
Mhm.
it's kind of scary. And I mean, church is the only thing that's going to fix that, I think, but like how do you do that is hard. So that's just what worries me, because I'd have it no other way than this country, no other way, and I always think it's worth fighting for,
Mhm.
because it's awesome. Like when it's the way it should be, it's so good. And I think that's what the COVID thing. Initially I was like, we gotta shut things down. Like this thing's scary. We don't know a lot about it. But then it's interesting seeing how many people, including myself, have totally changed on that. We're now like, wait, New York is requiring COVID passports. This is nuts. Wait, we still have these lockdowns. There is a great video I shared on my Facebook because I thought it was so simple but great, where Leo Terrell on Fox.
Yep.
Yeah, he used to be a total lefty. Kind of woke up a bit. Um, he was in on Marsha McCallum's show, and I saw a clip where they discussed something that I've been extremely worried about, which is the mental health crisis created by COVID, specifically on young people. When you shut down their schools, when they can't see their friends, when people don't have jobs, there's a massive mental health crisis in this country that nobody's talking about, and it's scary. And it's leading to lots of suicides among students too. And she brought Leo on, who used to be a teacher too. I didn't know this, but he used to be a teacher, and he couldn't get through the interview without crying. He couldn't do it. It was too much for him,
Mhm.
and it was powerful, and I'm very scared with this mental health crisis that's happening, because I'm seeing it everywhere, and it's like, why isn't anybody doing or saying anything about this? Like, I feel like I need to do something now. I don't know what to do, but I don't know. It's bothering me.
Mm.
It's just because the country hasn't been just this radically like changed like this. Not even wars quite do, because like we shut down the country. We shut down people's jobs, their businesses, their schools. They couldn't see their friends. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't go places. And like, how can you do that for this long and it doesn't fuck people up? It does, especially impressionable young minds. So it's scary. Not to be a doomer doubter here, but like it's nervous. Oh, hi, Metal for Life. Did you just listen to my mental health rant? I see Hobo's in the chat. Hey, Hobo, how you doing tonight? Yeah, Metal for Life. You should listen to my little mental health thing I just said. You might agree if it might find it insightful.
Yeah, man. We got a lot. We have a lot we need to work on. And I mean, like, we're just like I, we're we're destroying our mental health system too. It's like even the mental health definitions of what we're seeing, like, uh, it like what's defined as mental, like a mental health issue, and what's like defined as like, I don't know. I gotta be. I also got to be careful what I say, because, like, again, I don't want to. I don't want us to be thrown off of this platform, but you know,
Yeah, isn't that frustrating?
that is very frustrating.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's. I notice like more and more people are really careful. He knows Fox too, which just got hit by a
yeah,
Dominion lawsuit. When they even had Trump on, he started talking about election fraud. Okay, next question. They start talking over him, but the president,
yeah,
ex-president, but it's very scary. People are very scared. I haven't seen it like this before. Like I remember growing up watching Bill O'Reilly when all this stuff was sort of really starting to heat up, the culture wars in like 2010, 2013, and then coming really into things 2014. I remember there was like, yeah, people were scared to speak out, but there was a certain like there wasn't a fear being taken off the air. There wasn't a fear being taken off Twitter. There wasn't a fear of like so many other things. Like you would be scared like to lose your job or to get kicked out of school or be expelled. But it is just it's manifests itself as a much bigger beast now that even Fox News is afraid of like things that their own people and the ex-president will say on their station. That's how bad it's gotten. There are books that are being banned because they talk about the wrong subjects in the wrong ways from Amazon. It's like wild, 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 wild. Did our resident Geek Squad leave us? Yes, he did. Darn. Well, do you have anything else you
yeah,
want to talk about? If not, we can wrap it at midnight like we usually do, or talk about anything else you want.
yeah. I was trying to find some stuff. I can't find anything right now.
Did you get your second dose yet?
I did. It, yeah,
Did it kill you?
it messed me. Yeah, clearly it killed me. Um, no, it did mess me up a little bit though. I did. I was a little sick.
You want to hear something interesting though?
Mhm.
Because the way you mentioned that's interesting.
Mhm.
According to my mother, who works in a school, and she got the second dose, or she got the one with all one. My dad and my brother got second dose, no problem. Or wait, no, they're gonna get it. Sorry, they're gonna get it. There are people at her school that got second dose. Some people no problems. The people
Mhm.
that had problems, I think all of them or almost all of them had COVID before.
Mhm.
Do you think you had COVID before?
Mm, I mean, I mean, who the fuck knows, really? I
Isn't
mean,
that
I
what's weird
each
too?
time, each time I've, each time I had symptoms that may have somewhat resembled it, I had tests taken, and the tests were all negative. But
Hmm.
um, I mean, it would never surprise me just because there's so many factors. I mean, and I don't want to say that it really like there was a couple of days where I was feeling blah. There was a couple of days where my bones were aching and and I did like headaches and stuff like that. But like, I mean, I expected it. Like the first shot was like nothing. I mean, it just was nothing. The second shot was, and everybody like it's common that the second shot of the Moderna vaccine is the worst of the two, like far and away the worst of the two. Um, but yeah, for some people it kicked their ass. For me, it's like, and of course I'm a little older too, so I mean, I'm a little older, I'm a little bit more brittle than I used to be. I'm not the fucking badass that I once was, but I mean it was, I don't know, and like,
What did it do to you? I'm curious.
well, no, I mean it like that after that second, that was like the aches, the joint, the joint pain, you know, the headaches, you know, I think a little bit of a sore throat. I think there was a little bit of like not like trouble breathing, but there was like a definitely a little bit of a respiratory hindrance. But I don't know. I mean, it was noticeable, but like I don't. Now that I've gone through it, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just um I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not getting the vaccine, at least not yet. I I think anybody that's like older, I think the it's definitely worth it. But as somebody who's low risk, I feel like number one, I think it's riskier personally to take something that's not even technically fully FDA approved and has been rushed out as quickly as possible, which it needed to be. And why not save it for people that need it more than me? You know, like I'm gonna be fine if I get COVID, but some people won't. Older people won't. Fatties won't. So let's save it for them, not for my skinny young ass.
I
But
don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn about it because it's like I mean
I think you made the
obviously.
right decision.
Well, I mean I don't give a shit. I mean I don't give a fuck if it's like what like I'm at the point in my life like I don't care. They're like, oh, but I know there was one thing that was like, oh, it might make you infertile. I'm like, dude, I could
that
be
that
so
made you.
fucking lucky, man. I
I
don't.
was gonna
The
say
last
that's.
thing I want, the last thing I want is knocking some girl up, man.
I
That's
was gonna say
terrifying.
permanent birth control. Why is that like a bad thing again?
Fuck yeah, that's shit. And then I'd be like, you'd be like, you knocked me up. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That vaccine makes you infertile. Okay, bam, suck
I'd
it.
like sign me right up. Give me like 10 doses. Mel for life. I am not an under. Well, actually, I am technically underweight. No, it's not hurtful to underweight people. I'm not that underweight. I am healthy and I have no pre-existing conditions. That's the key thing too, I think. Actually, I heard something very interesting. I have to share this. Mel for life made fun of me for this because of my source. Um, and I'll reveal it afterwards because I think it'll be better. But do you know why? Partially why older people in nursing homes are getting COVID more severely? Like, why is it hitting them so hard? Other than the fact that they're old, do you know if what do you think, or do you even know this answer?
Say that one more time.
So, why is it that we're seeing so many fatalities from COVID in nursing homes? Yes, there is the fact that they're old and braille, and yes, there have been COVID people sent to nursing homes, but there's another factor that's contributing to it. Do you know what that is? And it also correlates to why, here's a hint, as to why African Americans are seeing a higher fatality from COVID.
Oh, oh, hmm.
It doesn't make sense, does it? But one of the things that's been floating around that's I think is pretty legit. Poor nursing skills. Yes, Re Spinoza 3 in chat. That's actually not it. What is it? Is when you're in a nursing home, you're inside most of the time, and you don't get a lot of sunlight. When you don't get a lot of sunlight, you don't get a lot of vitamin D. African Americans, and people that are African American will know this too, is when you go to get your physical, you will notice that you have a slightly lower vitamin D count than most people. Some it's even like a good chunk, because of their skin. Their skin has more melanin that prevents sunlight from getting in to their body, because African Americans are from, as the name pertains, Africa, where their skin evolved to prevent too much sunlight coming. Yes, Mel for life is the most scientific thing I've said. And so the correlation that's being drawn there, and I think it's valid and makes sense, is that when you have a lower vitamin D count, you are more at risk of dying from COVID. And people, some doctors were even saying from the beginning, like, good thing to do is have lots of vitamin D in you. I think it makes a lot of sense. It may not be the biggest factor, may not be the most contributing, who knows. We hopefully will know once this whole thing's over and we get into that Wuhan lab to get our hands on the real deal. But I think it makes a lot of sense because the whole, like, you'd see those articles where it's like, oh my god, high COVID fatality rates among African Americans, and it's like the right would be like, oh, what are they saying, COVID's racist? And it's like, yeah, it does seem kind of silly on face value, but when you look into it, there's a scientific reason for it. Makes sense. It's interesting. So yeah, we bring science to the show. You never would have thought that, I bet. Metal for life.
I mean, there's stuff that like, you know, and dieting too. Like what kind of
Yeah, it's
diet
true.
you intake as well. You know, like I know older people tend to shy away from milk, and milk has vitamin D.
Y'all made fun of me for the milk.
Yeah.
Look at
Like,
it.
yeah,
Look at
no,
me now.
you're gonna be the fucking last dude on earth, man. No, but no, I mean I drink milk too, but it's just
There
like
you go. Which type? Which type?
I think I 2% or
There
something
you
like
go.
that.
Good boy. 2%. And it's white too. It's white.
Yeah.
Good. Good. None of that
Uh,
chalky milk.
so I like to get the strawberry milk. It's all red and delicious.
Dude, who drinks?
No, I get
Honestly,
white.
who
Yeah.
drinks strawberry milk? Because I remember at the cafeteria at school, I'd always see it and be like, "Why is that a thing? Does anybody honestly drink that?"
If you're a dude and you drink strawberry milk, just seriously, just come out of the closet, all right? Come on.
Yeah,
Come on. Look,
it's a very
you'll be
fruity
happier.
beverage.
Look, you'll be happier. You feel better. Like, just do it. Just like,
See, proof that I am what I say I am. Not only am I dating a female, but I have never drank and will never drink strawberry milk in my lifetime. 1% white milk all day, every day, any day. It's the best stuff on earth, man. Water is good.
and one of so I'll get so part of what I do is actually mushrooms are high in
LSD.
in well some of the magic mushrooms are, yes, but no, I'm saying mushrooms like the edible, like the normal
Yeah.
edible mushrooms are also high in vitamin D.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So like if I get pizza, one of the pizza one of my favorite pizzas, you don't gross out yet. But yeah, extra cheese and mushrooms, right?
Hey,
So that's
I can defend you on that one because I've actually had pizza with mushrooms. It's actually good.
yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Mu- Extra cheese and mushroom. That's what I do. And then if I eat a salad, because usually I try to eat a salad at least three times a week. At least three times a week. So like um I'll have mushrooms in the salad. So
Mm-hmm.
like
That's good.
so yeah. And then of course if I get a cheesesteak, I'll get mushrooms, or if I get like yeah, I mean I do. I mean I do. So I mean, hey, I'm doing my part.
Yeah,
Like
good.
dietary wise, grant you, I eat like shit on most of my diet, but I do add a
Same.
fair amount of, whatever.
Metal for Life says strawberry milk is for the elementary school girls who drink it for the color.
Exactly. Exactly. You nailed it right on the head.
Yeah.
Right.
Am I the only one too that like when I see the pink ice cream that's always depicted like in movies and cartoons, it's like
Banned. You're banned.
yeah.
Okay. If you're a man and you eat strawberry ice cream, you're fucking banned.
Second, I fully enforce that ban. So if anybody in the chat or if anybody in the Discord, if anybody subscribed to the channel does that, you're gone. Unless you're a female, you can get away with it, I guess.
You
If
know,
you're
I
an
still
Omich
get
schoolgirl, that is.
I still get comments as to why, I still get shit on for, calling myself Dictator Phil, right?
Really? To
I
this day,
still
you're still
do
getting shit
on
for that?
social media. If I make a silly, stupid comment, as I do every day, um, yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, that's fitting for somebody named Dictator Phil." Like, oh, dude,
Oh,
was that
gee.
was that supposed to be a parting shot at me or something? First off, you're a loser. Get out of your mom's basement. Um, secondly, secondly, I've explained this numerous times why I call myself Dictator Phil. Okay, because it's a fucking joke, right? It's a
Wait,
fucking joke.
wait, you're telling me that's a joke? You're not actually a
No, I mean,
dictator?
no,
You're not actually a dictator? You don't want to be a dictator? What? What? No way.
like because we always talk about like the Versa crew always talk about like if if any changes to be made, we're probably one of the person would probably have to be a dictator because there's so much fraud, waste, and abuse in Congress that nothing's gonna fucking get done ever.
And can't people detect not only like with any joke, it's like, yeah, there's gonna be a
Yeah,
grain of truth to it, but it's like, can't you tell that it's like if I were dictator, I would do X, Y, and Z. It's always this
yeah,
fantastical like fantasy.
yeah. It is because and like I do it all the time, literally all the time,
I remember
right?
the shit you used to say at
All
the
the
Turning
time,
Point meetings where you'd
and
start
then it's
off with
clearly
like
a
if
joke.
dictator
It's
Phil.
like I used to get beat. I used to get hate when I used to get like nasty grams whenever I'd be like I'd joke around when something bad happens, and I'm like, where the fuck is Thanos when you need him, right?
Yes.
Jeez, just snap his. I wish he was here so he'd snap his fingers and get rid of half of these fuckers. Like, no, it's a joke. It's a joke. Obviously, I don't wish death on anybody, but like, it's.
Well, hey, he did clean up San Francisco.
I mean, seriously, people, fuck, man. Think about it. That's half of the people gone. That's like half of the water is back, half the food is back, half the air is back. Like, oh my god, what a great way to live. Holy god.
Somebody made an interesting point before like Endgame came out, and yes, I'll address your comment, Mel for life, which is, would have been an interesting twist to Avengers Infinity War is if when Thanos snapped his thumb, Thanos died with it.
Mm,
That would have been so interesting because it
yeah,
shows he took the risk of even taking himself out to accomplish his goal, and he went down with it. That would have been interesting. Obviously, they would have had to do a completely different final movie, or maybe they wouldn't even have enough plot with him gone to do it or something, but that'd be really interesting. Metal for Life, though, says, you, referring to me, eat strawberry and banana yogurt. STFU. That's different. That's yogurt, and it has bananas in it. It's a mixture.
is it like red yogurt?
It's a light pink.
Oh my
Let me
god.
show you a picture. Let me show you a picture. Let me show you a picture. Hey, it tastes good. It tastes good.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, what fucking yogurt? What yogurt outside of that plain Fage yogurt tastes bad? Like,
I have it specifically. Oh, did they change the labels? Oh my god. Oh, that's the Greek one. It is specifically the Dannon Light and Fit type.
oh, oh
It's
my
good.
god.
It's really good. I also drink this. I also eat the
Oh,
strawberry version, but I lean away from that because the strawberry and banana is better.
oh my goodness.
Mel for life. What you eat those like
Do
expensive
you,
French yogurts?
do- so,
Those like hipster yogurts. I eat the like the normie type. Like it's not good. It's not bad. It's not. You know, it's not fruity or not. It's just good yogurt. It's quality.
You know what you know what you should get her for her birthday, Sean?
No, what?
You know what you no,
Wait,
you
we
should get
can't.
her
If we say it on here, she'll know.
if you should get you should get Sean a pair of pants.
Oh, ha. Very funny. I'm actually laughing a bit, not gonna lie. But we don't need to hear that. But you know, I don't think I'm gonna be the one needing pants though, because last I checked, I'm the one wearing them right now, and I bet she's not wearing any because she's in her. Wait, I don't know. I would. I don't know. I don't know. I would, but a shirt is more fitting for him.
Oh, wow. A skirt. Oh,
Oh, skirt. Oh,
wow.
skirt. Oh, shoot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, correct that. Yeah, maybe you should straighten up your grammar before you look at straightening me out, okay?
Mm.
And I have plenty of shirts though, thanks to you and myself. My closet's very
Yeah.
full.
But one thing you don't have is a pair of pants because they belong to Metal for Life. Anyway,
I have more pants than her, I bet. I bet I have way more. I got new jeans. I got black jeans now. So I'm officially in the cool kids club because I got black jeans. I'm so edgy. Bro, imagine attacking someone's grammar because you got owned. I admit that's a pet peeve of mine when I see people like attack grammar like on Twitter. They'll just be like, some conservative make a good, like some liberal make like a bad point. Like, does the conservative do? They go asterisk YOU apostrophe RE. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. Most people can't spell year. I know.
Metal for Life wins. Flawless victory.
Yeah, let's see her still beat. Let's see if she can win an arm wrestle. Okay, she's been doing all this like working out, this like weightlifting. She's going to the gym now. She's running. You know, all these big changes. And have we seen big changes in the muscular department? No, we have not. I still win at all those. I'm still stronger, still bigger. So let's just remember that. I think that's enough evidence of who has the pants. And as she goes silent.
She clearly won that
She's
one.
very silent now, though, once I bring up the reality, which is that I am stronger.
By the way, I miss having her on the show because she's like our psychology correspondent.
Yeah, she's our shrink.
Yeah.
We have our
She's
cybersecurity and
senior psychology correspondent.
Senior. Yeah, super senior. We have, let's see, we have a psychology correspondent, we have a cybersecurity correspondent, we have a military correspondent, and we have, I guess I'm the autism correspondent. And then we have what else do we have? We have our British correspondent.
He's the spectrum correspondent.
Yeah, we have British correspondent. We have so many. We have a diverse cast here. We have our Florida correspondent. Should I remind you of the time my friend won in the arm wrestle? She's a girl, by the way. Okay, she's probably on steroids. She does like insane like levels of working out. She was bigger than me, I think. And now she's gonna come out. She was shorter.
Okay, that like, oh, she's bigger than you. That's not really. That's not exactly a high bar. Okay.
I think the playing field is a bit unfair. I think if we redid it, I would win. just for the record, I can't find my strawberry banana yogurt online. This is weird. I can only find the strawberry version. Oh, I should get some. I haven't had some in a long time. You know, I should send you some. I think you'd like some. Yeah, we could have lunch together with some strawberry banana yogurt. We can get everybody together and just eat strawberry banana yogurt. Ah,
Uh,
this is what happens when
I'll
Alex
throw that
leaves
shit
early.
out. Give me ribs and a beer.
I'll take the ribs. You can have the beer, but I'll take the ribs.
I like them. I actually I've become fascinated with the crocked ribs. I like them on the crock pot. I don't put them
Oh,
in the crock pot.
yeah.
That way, yeah, when you take them out, the meat just falls off the bone. It's just
Ooh,
freaking amazing.
ooh.
You, you marinate them in fantastic barbecue sauce. Anyway,
Yeah, I forget how we have them, but it's pretty tasty. And it's something I either I think I didn't try for the longest time, and then once I did, like I like them. They're pretty tasty. They're just frustrating to eat. It's kind of like well, no, it's probably not as bad as like crabs, but it's like or whatever that thing is. We get to like I think it's
you,
crabs. You have to crack open, get the shit out. Like ribs is just frustrating because there's like this entire bone and there's like a little bit of meat on it.
well, that depends on where you get the fucking ribs at.
I guess we gotta get
Got
better
to be
ones
able,
then.
you got to get the right ribs.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna get some cheap ass ribs from the fucking the cheapest ribs at the supermarket, yeah, you're probably not gonna get much meat. But I mean, or if you're
Okay.
gonna get the
Well, one thing I've noticed is like it does depend on the cut. It really does. So I don't know which ones we get, but it's like we get them from ShopRite, which usually has pretty good meat. Like I have to say, they usually do. I don't know if you have any of those around you. Mel for Life says as long as we can get our hair and nails done afterwards. Yeah, no, my hair's fabulous enough.
that's funny.
I love
She's
steak though.
she is fucking hilarious. You know who has like I'm actually surprised. Costco actually does not have bad.
Really? I'd be
Yeah.
nervous to try it, not gonna lie.
I mean they usually have like I looking there, I'm like, wow, some of the yeah, some of the meat was really good. Like some of the specialty meat too. Like you get like the lamb, like it like Easter time's coming up, so we get lamb chops for Easter. Like that's like our thing. Um, and you got to you got to get lamb chops. Oh, they're God, I'm already
You're
mouth
always
up.
salivating.
Like, oh,
I actually almost got conned into like a Costco job recently because I got one of these like salespeople call me like, "Oh yeah, you have lots of advertising experience. That's great. Well, do you want to work at Costco?" I'm like, "What?" Like, yeah, you'd be standing there. Like, I'm obviously like not saying what they literally said, but it's like they basically told me like I'd be standing there like literally like giving people like free meat
all
samples.
right. Like you're you're like, oh, so you have a bachelor's degree from
Penn State. Wow.
great university, huh? Well, that will put you in line for a fabulous job pushing grocery carts at Costco. How's that sound? Like,
It's like, oh no, you have
no.
advertising. Yeah, we do that. We advertise meat. You can stand there and give people free samples. I'm like, no.
Yeah, we got great advertising. You can hold up
Yeah, you can hand out
signs.
coupons.
Oh God.
Costco, what a store.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna get like, if you want to really get great meat, look, like especially if you're in the Pennsylvania area, there's butchers
Yeah, yeah.
that get great, like that give great meat, but like, um, but yeah, like, and you get a lot of. I mean, you the probably the best places that I go for meat would be like the lo- the smaller supermarkets, like the family
Yeah.
owned, because they get like, because a lot of the family owned supermarkets, they'll have like, they'll actually have contracts with like the local farmers or whatever. And
Yeah.
like where I'm from, uh
Yeah, you're in the
yeah,
country.
you get, there's a lot of like, you know, there's a lot of farms that have like butchers and stuff like that, where you really can go get what you want. But in all reality, like, if you're gonna do like, it's better, because if you're gonna try to buy meat like that, like, you need to have a freezer. Like, you need to have like a freezer, a large one. A
Yeah.
lot of, but
Well, it's what it's so this is such okay. It's gonna be like a critique of American culture, but like I've noticed with like I've noticed this my whole life, but a lot of like we have it pretty good here. Don't get me wrong, we have it pretty damn good, probably the best ever in the world. But I notice a lot of Americans like it's gonna sound weird, but they kind of don't know what good is, like a good steak. It's you don't know a good steak till you try it. It's like you can get these like shitty steaks and like you think it's good. Like I'll see my friends like I remember from like high school they'd get like shit food. They'd be like, "Oh, this is so good." Like we'd get a burger somewhere. They'd be like, "Oh my god, it's such a good burger," and I'd be eating it. I'd be like, "Dude, I can make better burgers at home. This is like dry. This has no flavor." And it's like it's the same thing with the meat, especially. Like I know Metal for Life will remember this too. I can still taste that Trump steak in my mouth. It was the best shit ever. Oh, so good. It's like it's amazing that like when you get so used to like even when you get like good meat, like there's still better out there that's like amazingly better. It's like God, we're so used to average. Like we have no clue what good is until you have it. And then you're like, man,
I don't want to
I
go
want
back.
this.
I don't want to go
Literally.
back to garbage.
Literally. It's like anything, a nice car, a nice house. It's just weird to me how you can get so used to like mediocrity that it becomes good. Because everything's relative, of course, but
Yeah.
just made me think of that. But I don't have anything else to talk about. Metal for Life, do you have any topic ideas other than strawberry milk? I love how we both hate that. We all unanimously hate strawberry milk. If I were to become president, if I were dictator, I would ban strawberry milk.
Exactly. There you go. Or if I was Kamala Harris.
Yeah, oh yeah, what's the difference? So yeah,
Uh,
Kamala.
all right. Uh,
I think that about does it.
pretty much, yeah. That
It
pretty
was
much
a
does
pretty
it.
busy week, Kind of got a little slower at the end of the week. Like the beginning of the week, there was a lot of shit. Like migrants coming across the border and then being thrown into tents wrapped in aluminum foil, like mass shootings at multiple places. Like it was a little wild start there, but then the press conference and all this other shit. But be interesting to see what happens next. But as always, like, share, and subscribe to Versa Media, Dictator Phil. All the links are down below. Mel for Life says, no, sorry, yeah. So you don't have any good questions, awesome. Fuck strawberry milk, yes, agree. Give them to the refugees. Yes, let's just take the strawberry milk and give it to all the illegals. They can take it. We're a humane country. We'll give them food and water. We'll give them strawberries and strawberry milk. Strawberry milk forever. Alright. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, get on this front of the video, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later, Gators.
Wash your hands and get your COVID tracking vaccines. Alright, we are